You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
There's a look at Mile High. Great place. Good place to watch a football game. Some of the renovations they've done over there just outside the stadium is really cool. And looks like it's going to be that kind of day. Nice day. And the Jags have had some unbelievable history in Denver. From 1996 to even recently with Gardner Minshew's magic in 2019. Always a tough place to play, good fan base, traditional base. And I remember when I was a kid watching the Patriots or the Dolphins play, or especially in the playoffs, and Patriots weren't very much, or whoever, just the playoffs. That old Mile High was bouncing on TV. Like, it was shaky. I don't know if it's where they didn't have the tripod decks, I guess, for the camera or something, because that whole thing was just like the whole time. That's how crazy it was with John Elway and company. Brent Martineau here. That is Austen Lane. He's out in Las Vegas. Home away from home. You have to pay taxes out there?
Not yet, but yeah, hopefully they, the government doesn't figure out that, and I don't have to pay tax in the future, because I'm sure it's a little pricey compared to Florida.
Yeah, you have 48-hour testing. How's it going?
Yeah, everything's going good so far. I had a lot of the physical testing yesterday, and obviously passed with flying colors. I'm currently on, it's a 15-hour fast right now, because this morning I have to do my diagnostics to make sure that I can make 205 pounds and fight at light heavyweight, which I'm supremely confident that I can do. So a little hungry, a little thirsty, but I'll get that done here in about an hour and a half. And then there's some more physical activities after that. And then I'm done for the day. And then I have really the rest of the day until 10 p.m. where I fly out tonight then.
Oh, you're on the red eye. That's right. Back
on the red eye.
Busy couple of days, and before you head back out, you go to that Broncos game. You get tickets yet?
Nope, haven't. Well, I mean, I have the press box things for me and my son. They hooked us up with, so that was cool. But no, we're probably gonna buy tickets either Saturday or Sunday morning. That's kind of what I like to do in terms of getting the lowest price and everything. And while we could show them the press box, man, I gotta be with the fans. I want to experience Mile High, because I've never played there before. I mean, I've driven past it a couple of times, but I've never been inside the stadium. Heard a lot of great things. It's going to be great weather, so I'm excited to kind of get that whole experience, from being a Jaguars fan, if you will. And my son's going to be torn because he's a giant Bo Nix fan, and he's also a big Jaguars fan. So we're going to pack the Jaguars hoodies and everything, and hopefully he will abide by that. And hopefully the Jaguars leave him no doubt that, they are the true team to cheer for.
Yeah. So I should get you on the pregame show. You're going to be down there on the pregame, it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be doing the other pregame show as well.
You're going to do it?
Yeah. I'll be in the box doing that for an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I see what you're doing up there. I got you.
Yeah.
Good stuff. That'll be fun out there. I wonder how many people are going out to Denver. It's a tricky one because it's around the holidays. I know, my fam likes to go out to an away game, but not doing this. I thought this was the one they were going to go to, and they're not. Kids are getting back from school and all that stuff. But anyway, it's a good trip, and it looks like it's going to be a good trip weather-wise. And if you decided late, I think it got real expensive to go out to Colorado in this time of year, because everybody's going out for the holidays or skiing or whatever that might be. But it should be a fun one, man. I mean, you think about it, has a feel of a playoff game. What's interesting is it doesn't have it's not as I think the stakes aren't as high, because both teams, even if they were to lose, well, the Broncos already clinched, and the Jags, even if they lose, their percentage to make the playoffs goes from 99% to 97%. So I guess the stakes aren't as high, but it does feel like the playoffs before the playoffs when you get matchups like this, kind of like tomorrow night with the Rams and the Seahawks. Now the stakes are a bit higher there because of the division. And I guess in a sense the stakes are really high for both teams even in this one, because the Broncos could get a number one seed, and the Jags, of course, they want to get the division in a home game. Yeah. But, I mean, it feels like all those ingredients. And I think on top of that, you have two teams really ascending and playing good football. I don't know if you can ascend any more for the Broncos. They've won 11 in a row, and they've won a lot of close games. the Jags seem like they're an ascending football team, and how much can they keep this going? So I basically got a playoff game on Sunday afternoon on Fox 30. Should be fun.
No, I mean, I think it's going to be great just because, like, and I understand the second half of the season's a little easier for the Jaguars, right? You got the Titans coming up where, we can go ahead and maybe sleep on them if we want to. You have the Colts now with Philip Rivers. Like, we'll see how that goes. But I think it's important to play those higher quality teams going in the playoffs and kind of see where you match up a little bit. And to me, I mean, there's a lot to gain from this Broncos matchup. I mean, obviously there's the position in terms of where you're going to be in the seeding, but also I think it's going to be a giant litmus test to see exactly where you stand with these playoff caliber teams. So to me, it's a win-win because one of the things is going to happen. I don't think the Jaguars are going to get blown up by any means. Like, I don't see that happening. So that's good. But either you're going to pull into Mile High, you're going to dominate, you're going to take names, you're going to win the football game, and your confidence is going to be at an all-time high getting ready to enter the playoffs. Or maybe it's a close battle. Denver has your number, and it almost humbles you a little bit where you have to go back to the drawing board, see what you have to improve on, and you have 2 games then before the playoffs to try to make that right. So I think it's a great matchup at a great time in the season to see exactly where you stand.
All right, I love doing this because we get the chance to do this, and we take their offense and this Jags defense. And Bo Nix, I think what's pretty cool about this game, not only are you have win streaks of 11 games and 5 games. Houston, by the way, has a 6-game win streak right now, and they're playing the Raiders. But Bo Nix coming off a 4-touchdown performance. He's had plenty of discourse this season as well, even when the Broncos were winning. Much like Trevor Lawrence, a lot of discourse even when the Jags were winning, which is pretty wild, but Trevor's coming off his big performance. So, I mean, this is like a bit of a crescendo in a way, even from the quarterback position. You watch Bo Nix quite a bit because of Ronan and likes Oregon, and that's the backstory there. They've got a guy in R.J. Harvey that's been really good. 12 touchdowns this season, banged up a little bit. We'll see what the injury report says today. And they can beat you in a lot of different ways in the passing game because Cortland Sutton, Troy Franklin has really come on this season. Pat Bryant from Jacksonville, he's played a role at times. I don't think super dynamic, but played a role. And then, of course, they've got Evan Ingram. And it feels like there's somebody different each week for the passing game of the Broncos, which in that way kind of has a sense of the Jags. I think they're built similarly on offense. They don't have like a Jamar Chase superstar. I mean, I guess Cortland Sutton could be framed that way, but it doesn't feel like he's at that level of those kind of guys. So they can really spread the football around. They both feel like they can run it. And when the quarterbacks are playing well, it's pretty good.
No, I mean, if I'm Liam Cohen right now and I'm trying to find maybe a little extra motivation in terms of how can we get up for this game in Denver, I mean, the first thing I'm bringing up is, I think we're very comparable to Denver in terms of what we want to do, what our identity is. I think Denver's a run-first team, and then they pass off that. And I think if I'm Liam Cohen, I'm going to go, Denver is just like us, but they might be better, right? Offensive line might be better. Quarterback might be. And once again, this is just, for the sake of motivating players. Quarterback might be better. Wide receivers might be better. So, like, I think if I'm Liam Cohen, I'm pushing the narrative of, hey, they do what we do, but a lot of people are saying they might be better at what we do. And I think if it starts, obviously, with their running game, but, when you look at Bo Nix and how he's kind of come on lately, he's going to be – this is a guy as a pass rusher that it's almost like the Sam Darnold effect when we talked about this weeks ago when they played the Seahawks, where Sam Darnold, really gets the ball out quick and everything, makes it frustrating on defensive linemen. Even when they get home, the ball's out, and that's frustrating as a pass rusher. Well, Bo Nix kind of has that same intangible, but his isn't necessarily he gets the ball out quickly. His is that he's going to check down to R.J. Harvey and company. And this has kind of been Sean Payton's MO with his offense for a long time, right? Like, it can be short to intermediate passes, but I feel like Sean Payton always takes care of his quarterback. So if you see Josh Hines Allen or Trayvon Walker, Eric Armstead, whoever, get a great pass rush, more than likely there's going to be a check down component within that route scheme. And this is where our linebackers and Foye Oluokun, Lloyd have to be on their P's and Q's here because they do have capable backs out of the backfield that can catch the ball as well, just like the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I think it is pretty interesting how much they are alike and how I mean, I don't think schematically it's not from the same tree. That's where it probably changes. And Peyton is getting a lot of credit last week of kind of breaking his own tendencies at this point of the season. I thought the Jags did a similar thing. I think they wrinkled some things up, and I think they made Denver think a little bit more out of some of the way they used their running backs and some of the style of play they had last week against the Jets. And what else is left in the bag, I think we're all kind of wondering in this Liam Cohen offense here in Jacksonville. But you certainly have a deeper resume from over the years with Sean Payton to figure that out. So, someone brings up a really good point in the chat. Like, Nix is 25 years old. I mean, he played college football forever. Trevor just turned 26 in October, I think it is. So it is pretty wild compared to NFL experience and where Trevor and Bo are. But he's not a young guy in that sense. So he's got plenty of game experience, and maybe that's why you're starting to see the evolution of him this later in the season too. You can pick it up under Sean Payton and then hit a groove, and they're cooking at the right time in their passing game. Does anybody scare you in the passing game? Like, is it Sutton? Is it Franklin? I mean, is it Evan who can really have a game or two where it's getting 8, 9, 10 catches? Anything scare you in the passing game against the Jags defense?
I mean, in terms of an individual, I guess you would say Cortland Sutton in the red zone. Cortland Sutton's a guy who, going into the season was their wide receiver one, wasn't really getting targets and the receptions like a wide receiver one halfway through the season. And now he's really kind of found his groove, and him and Nix have had that connection. So especially in the red zone, inside the 20-yard line, I mean, they're going to go like the fade route to him and all those jump balls all day just because he is a little more of a specimen. So he does make me nervous because if you're going to go man coverage or even zone, who's going to be on his side? Who's going to be physical enough to try to match up with him and try to take him away? Just because you kind of saw the same thing with Devontae Adams a little bit, and we know how that went, for the Jaguars in England. So he does scare me. I mean, they have a slew of wide receivers who do different things. You mentioned Troy Franklin. He's more of their slot guy, has great speed. And then I remember watching that Packers game. Is it Mims? Who's the speedster that catches the punt returns? I think it's Mims, right?
Yeah.
Marvin.
Yeah,
Marvin Mims.
Marvin Mims is a guy that they're going to kind of rotate in as well when you need like that deep threat, when you need to take the top off. He's capable of doing that. So, they don't just do it with one guy. It's more of a conglomerate. It's more of the collection of everybody. But yeah, it's not so much that you're scared of their wide receivers or even Evan Ingram at this point in this season, but you're scared of what Sean Payton can dial up.
And then there's the offensive line. He's played pretty well, right, overall for the Denver Broncos, and that's a good matchup. Garrett Bowles is interesting to me because I feel like, if I remember, he's been in the league a while now. Did he get off to a slow start in his career? And people wondering if he was going to be any good. Do I have that right? And then he ended up getting like a contract extension and worked his way into it. Felt like and really has come into his own as a player. But, I mean, he kind of anchors that offensive line as usual. Name the offensive lineman if you can, but you can probably name the tackles in Bowles and McGlinchey, who obviously has been around it a bit too. But that's a pretty good offensive line. I'm trying to think of the offensive lines that the Jags have faced this year that have been pretty good. I think Seattle comes into mind. I think the Rams come into mind. And obviously Indianapolis has a good offensive line. This goes back to last week or 2 weeks ago in the Colts conversation about running games. Jags have not played a ton of really good offensive line running back combos, but they got one in Jonathan Taylor and the Colts, and they did a nice job on him. Now they get another one here in R.J. Harvey and this offensive line.
Yeah, and obviously I think the biggest difference between this offensive line and this game coming up, set aside from the Colts, is you kind of made the Colts one-dimensional when Daniel Jones went out, right? Like, this is going to be a little more play action. This is going to be a little more of Sean Payton relying on his quarterback to make those throws, which he can make. So, yeah, I mean, I understand, like, on paper, you shut down Jonathan Taylor and mission accomplished for sure. You're still the best defense in the league when it comes to stopping the run. But this might be a little different now because you can't rely on stacking the box so much like you did against Cook. I'm sorry, not Cook. Who was the guy from the Colts? Who's their
Riley
quarterback?
Leonard,
Riley Leonard. Yeah, you can't stack the box like you did against Riley Leonard just because Bo Nix has the capabilities to beat you deep as well.
That'll be interesting. I'm going to give you a couple of things that I think the Jags are really might have they might have the edge in this category. Well, I know they have the edge statistically. We'll see. I mean, you never know how turnovers are going to work, but the Jaguars are plus 10, which I think is like top 4 or 5 in the National Football League this year at turnovers. And the Broncos are minus 2, I think I saw. So that could be something to keep an eye on. Like that, if you look at statistically, the Broncos and the Jags are pretty close in a lot of ways. I don't, that part they're not. And also, I think the Jags feel good just about every time they line up, even against a good special teams unit. I think the Jags feel good about their special teams. A lot of confidence in it. Now, you lose Tootin a little bit for this one. You bring in DJ Dallas from right up the road in Brunswick, and he's got kickoff return capabilities, and he's a veteran guy, so they add him. We'll see what else they do from the practice squad, which they certainly can make a move there with Tootin out. But certainly something to watch in the return game. And obviously there's a lot of love for Parker Washington, who's back in the fold and healthy again, or at least was healthy enough to play. But those are, hey, when you start breaking down games like this, when you start breaking down big games, I think the games really come down to those facets, right? I mean, every game comes down to turnovers, but special teams becomes paramount in a lot of ways, Austin. Jags feel good about theirs.
Yeah, obviously, and I mean, I think we're all excited to see if Cam Little can break another record at Mile High. I mean, yeah, special teams could be a big part of this game because I think you have two offenses that are more than capable. I think you have a Broncos defense who arguably might be the second best or third best defense in the entire NFL. I think you have a Jaguars defense that, even though maybe not as talented, is still definitely playing, at a top 8 level. So, yeah, I mean, when you put those things together, then it could come down to special teams and a field goal here or a nice punt return there.
Yeah. What about the defense of the Denver Broncos? Let's go over it a little bit more and want to ask just even about the style of play, the scheme. Have we seen a lot of the scheme that Denver will present, and how about that part of the matchup? Along with a high-flying Jags offense right now, 25-plus in 7 straight games. Can they do it again? And you feel good to win a football game if you get over that margin just about every week, although Denver scores just under 25 points per game. Take a break. Brent and Austin Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Austen Lane in Las Vegas with us for the first hour, and we want to really break down this matchup here as a Wednesday happens in Jacksonville, and we start to get closer and closer and turn the page towards Sunday. We'll be out in Denver, of course, with the Jaguars Saturday and Sunday. And we'll have a post-game show on TV right after that game on Fox 30. So the game's on Fox 30 at 4:05. We'll take you until 8 o'clock with a post-game show, win or lose. So make sure you're ready for that. It's a little bit different. We don't do that all the time, but we'll have it for you on TV on Fox 30, and we may have a couple of other tricks up our sleeve the rest of that evening. We'll keep you posted on that. We'll be right back on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Welcome inside the Armor Guard Exterior and Gutter Helmet Showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet is truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax Pal.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now, the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar. Grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
Sun's out, suits out. That's right, it's summertime in Florida, which means it's time to say goodbye to bulking season and hello to shredding season. But if you're like me, you're having a hard time sculpting and shaping those final pounds. That is until I came and saw my friends over at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Right now, everyone is hopping on the Evolve X train, and the only destination is finding your perfect summer body. The technology uses electrical muscle stimulation and radio frequency energy to cause your muscles to contract, all while heating up those deep layers of your skin and tissue to produce collagen and reduce fat. It's like doing 1,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes. No pain, no needles, just results, right?
That's right.
So leave those winter layers back at the station and come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Hey guys, we got a new player today. I hear he's pretty good.
Heard this guy played in the NFL.
I think he's an MMA fighter. I've actually been on his show, the Brent and Austen show.
Football and fighting, that's the easy part. Let's see if I still have it on the ice. What the heck, man? Who is this guy? He's saving everything.
Leave the hockey to the pros, man. It's hockey season. Come on out and see the Icemen play. Get your tickets at JacksonvilleIcemen.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Well, we got a little Pro Bowl? Or, this is the FedEx.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the FedEx, like, by air, by ground, like, do the players care? That's what I'm curious about. But anyway, we got Trevor, got Bo Nix, got Travis Etienne, 2 Jags. How about that? What a day. What a week. I keep seeing stuff, more Jags conversation everywhere I look. Fantastic. It's a lot of fun. Dialed in. I got Dan Orlovsky, Dan Keys to the City Orlovsky, breaking down the Jags play action game.
Let's go, baby.
It's amazing. Hello, welcome. Welcome, everybody, to Jacksonville in 2025. Brent Martineau here, Austen Lane out in Vegas. Jason Hamby along as well. Hamby got the bases in Denver and Houston fired up a little bit. He put a little something from our show out yesterday, and we got Texans fans just saying how much they're not worried about the Jags, and they're just smoke the Jags. And
calling me choice words.
Yeah, can you handle it, Hamby? You okay? You sensitive to that?
No, I mean they called me the same thing that little kid called you on the Texan last week.
Did I forget that?
The kid that texted you last week?
The
wrong number?
The kid that texted. I thought you said Texan.
Oh, no.
The
kid.
Oh, yeah. Did they really? They called you that?
Yeah.
We'll bow up. We got your back.
No problem.
Yeah, that's all right.
Could we get like a little detailed breakdown of like what happened? Like, what did you post, Hamby? What would you say?
Well, I
'Cause
mean,
I haven't seen it.
we were looking at the playoff picture yesterday, and Brent posed the question: if the Jags were to not win the division and they were the 6th seed or the 7th seed, would you rather play the Texans or the Patriots? And I said I'd rather play the Texans. And I explained why. That the Jags have beaten them once, and they've dominated them for 3/4 of another game and then choked it. And then Brent said he wanted to play the Patriots. I posted it. And Brent also said that he hated Houston, which helped this whole thing.
I actually didn't get as much hate for hating Houston as I thought.
Yeah, I got more hate for just picking the Jags to beat them. So yeah, everybody kind of got in their feelings about that. I had Texans fans calling me cool things. And then
the Texans fans are confident. That's right now.
Right.
They are really confident.
They think that the
be,
Jags
right?
are so far beneath them that the Jags don't have a shot.
Okay.
Yeah, all that.
Okay.
Yeah, there were some nice comments initially. Actually, when I first started rolling in, they're like, "Hey, I haven't been afraid of the Jags in a long time. I might be afraid of them right now." I saw that comment. Right, I was like, "Hey, this is very cordial right now between AFC South rivals." Then it didn't go as cordial the rest of the way. Then you got everybody in, and then we're also talking about is there some gamesmanship involved with Schrader being picked up by the Denver Broncos? Because of some of the injury of R.J. Harvey, obviously makes some sense, but also he spent a lot of time on the Jags roster this year in the practice squad before going to Houston. And we had shared that story earlier, remember, late training camp about Vele, the receiver, and how that went down. And so we just posed that question. And even the Broncos fans were like, gamesmanship, what are you talking about? R.J. Harvey's hurt. So
they weren't happy with
us. Yeah, man, let's go. It's playoff time. Everybody's a little feisty right around the holidays. We like it.
Good time. I like it, man. All right.
It was.
You answer the question. Who would you rather face right
be
now?
Careful.
If the Jags, because here's the deal, we're doing percentages, Austin, and the Jags, if they don't win the division, have a really good chance. I think their second most likely chance to hit a seed would be at number 6, which would then be Houston at number 3, and then you'd go to Houston in the first round of the playoffs. They also could be the 7th seed. We're talking about the Jags. Then they would go to New England. So that's how we pose the question. What do you feel about it? Right now, if you signed up, go to Houston or go to New England, who would you take?
I would go play Houston. I think in terms of having a chip on your shoulder, I mean, what more do you need to throw on if you're Liam Cohen than that last, 10 minutes of that football game of how you let it slip away? And going to Houston means that the Houston Texans overtook you in the division. So after that game that you gave away, they went on their run. They beat you. They beat you in the division. I like the Jaguars' chances to go to Houston then and try to rectify that. Obviously the Houston Texans defense, best defense in the NFL, that scares you, right? As it should. But I think Vrabel and Drake May and playing in New England scare me more than the Houston Texans defense, which the Jaguars offense has showed they can have some success with. So to answer your question, I would much rather play Houston than New England.
Yeah, I disagree. Well, I like what you guys are saying, and actually Hamby started to talk me into it a little bit, but I don't know if I'm fully on board yet. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. We get to talk about scenarios like this, and hello, Houston fans.
A lot of people were upset that we're even talking about that, Brent. Those were the third kind of section of comments of it shouldn't matter who you play in the playoffs.
No, that's fair.
Well, I'm like, hey, we have a 3-hour show. Sometimes we're going to do a hypothetical question, and we're going to go through it.
Well, it's not just that we have a 3 hours.
Oh, go ahead.
It's not just that we have a 3-hour show. It's that if this playoffs were to start next week or this week, and you were playing either Houston or New England, you're going to break it down like, damn, this is a good matchup or it's not.
Right.
That's what you're going to break down. And that's a reality. Like, the sports is about matchups. It's not just how you show up and play. Sports is really a lot about matchups and who you play and then how you show up to play. So it's a wide open deal. But I got to believe, like, if you asked right now who, like Liam Cohen, feels good playing against schematically and other things, he would have a favorite list that he would want to see, that he would feel good about. So, yeah, I get what everybody's saying. You got to show up. It's playoffs, no doubt. But there's no there's also like sports is about matchups now. I mean, that's how we either get upset sometimes or people can cruise. All about matchups, and we know that part, Austen. And to that point, how do you is this a good matchup for Denver against Denver? In part because they play 3-4 defense, right? And have we seen a lot of that in Jacksonville this year? I don't recall, but I also don't usually deep dive into that. Is that going to be a new look for the Jaguars offense and Liam Cohen?
A new look, maybe a little bit, just because you might have one extra guy standing up, but like literally the principles are the same. Like they're always going to send four, and much like the Jaguars did in the beginning of the season, when they do send four, because like, all right, when you have a top defense, especially a top defensive line, you can get away with just rushing four guys. Houston does this all the time, right? And they have major success with it. Denver sends four as well, but they do it a different way in terms of they'll drop a lineman and send a linebacker, or they'll drop an edge guy and send a corner or a safety. So they keep offensive lines guessing in terms of where that pressure is going to come from with those four guys. Now, every once in a while, they're just going to run base, defense as well and just send their four defensive linemen or, the three defensive linemen and a linebacker, and they get home as well. So when you have like a legit defensive line like that, it allows you to just kind of throw wrinkles at people, and it helps the secondary out a lot. Now, if you want to talk about where you can exploit the Broncos and where I think the Jaguars will, and I think you saw this with the Jets a little bit, like, yes, Liam Cohen wanted to have the Trevor Lawrence, 5-6 touchdown party, but I think Liam Cohen was almost looking ahead a little bit to play in the Broncos, and a lot of it had to do with some of those deep shots to Brian Thomas Jr. If you look at the Broncos right now, what they have on the back end, Patrick Surtain is one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, if not the best cornerback in the NFL. Right. So you almost have to think twice when you're going his direction, just because even if something appears open, that guy comes out of nowhere with his ball skills and gets interceptions. So you got to be mindful of where he's at the field at all times. And one would hope that Surtain's going to shadow Jacoby Myers a lot, just because the targets have gone to Jacoby Myers. And if I'm the Broncos, I'm watching that thinking, okay, we have to shut Jacoby Myers down first and foremost. On the other side, then, that's going to allow Brian Thomas Jr. to do his thing, because Riley Moss this year, I believe last year as well, is one of the most penalized corners in the NFL when it comes to defensive pass interference. If you watch the Packers game, he had some trouble with guys like Christian Watson before Christian Watson got hurt and everything, and that whole scheme changed then for the Packers. But this is a guy that you can take deep shots on. So anytime that you see Brian Thomas Jr. and you see, Riley ahead of him, take those shots, because that's where you're going to win. Either you're going to have the reception or it's probably going to be a penalty. So that's where I feel like you can kind of exploit this Broncos defense a little bit.
Yeah, it's a really good call. And I think what the difference is here, right? This is a really good defense. And statistically in the league, it's right up there with Houston. It's not Houston. We know that. I mean, Houston has the best defense, and it's really by a pretty good margin. But I think the difference between the two defenses, in my opinion, would be their secondary, the depth of their secondary. You look at Lassiter and Stingley, you don't pick on either one guy, really, right? You probably try to stay away from Stingley. You can maybe pick on Riley here, or even, like you were saying, their safeties don't feel as strong. So the linebacker unit is good. I don't know if it's as good as Houston. You can make the case, of course, at the front is just as good as Houston, I think. But I think the layers of the Houston defense is really what separates it in so many respects. And again, that's not to sit here and say it's easy against the Denver secondary, but I do think that's where the difference is, and where you're going to have to find some matchups and scheme some things, or just go make a play. And this really could come down to your point. When you say that about Brian Thomas Jr., I'm like, all right, dude, it's go time here. This could be your op, right? And this is where you've been playing better football, but you get an opportunity downfield, got to go make a play. And I still think there's mixed confidence at times in that. There's more confidence in that for Brian Thomas Jr. But this could be a huge game for him to make a big play in this football game.
No, without a doubt. And I think in order to get to those situations of throwing that deep ball to Brian Thomas Jr., you have to buy Trevor some time. Simply because, and I get, the Jaguars played the Colts, and their defensive line was out some of their, obviously their big guy in Buckner, but they did a great job against Seattle in Seattle, right? They got after Sam Darnold. So like that gives you some confidence from that Jags offensive line. Cole Van Lannon playing at a very high level, but this Broncos defensive line is different. And I think if you just expect to sit back there and throw those deep shots, it could be detrimental in terms of Trevor Lawrence getting hit. So this is where running the football has got to come into play. Despite how explosive this offense has been the past couple weeks, they haven't really been running the football like they want. So I feel like if you want to have success against this Broncos defense, you have to get back to running the football as well. I get it that you played the Jets and you played the Colts team that was banged up a little bit, and it was your opportunity to try to get Trevor Lawrence some more love and some more confidence. That's great. You probably won't be able to do the same thing against this Broncos defense. Like, you're going to have to play complementary football between the run and the pass. And it should start with the run here, simply because then you set up the play action and you put the defensive line on their heels a little more.
Do you think at all, and it's not a crazy trend, like the Jags trend is crazy right now. I mean, the way they're playing offense is just really good. Second in the league since like week 8, 33 points a game, all that stuff. The Denver defense, I don't want to use the word leaky, but it hasn't been as dominant in the last few weeks. You go back to that Thanksgiving weekend game against Washington, and it was an overtime game, but Washington's not good. And Mariota was able to move the ball, and they were able to do some things, and they beat Washington 27-26. I think Washington went for a 2-point conversion in overtime. But, I mean, I don't know what the yardage is. I probably could look it up, but it felt like in that game, I was like, wow, they're moving the ball pretty well against Denver. The next week, they beat Vegas 24-17. I mean, Vegas is Vegas right now. It's hard to really get a good feel. And that's not a bad performance, obviously, from their defense. And then Green Bay had 26 points early in the fourth quarter. And then that defense of Denver did a nice job in the last, 3 series against Green Bay. So I don't know if there's a little bit of a trend here where that defense, people are figuring it out a little bit more. Maybe they're a little bit more banged up than they were. Is there something to be had here with the offense of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah, I mean, obviously every game is different, right? Like, you can go back a couple weeks when the Raiders put up how many points on the Jaguars and say, well, was the Jaguars defense that good? You know what I mean? You can pick and choose.
Well, we wondered.
But, we really did. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that the Broncos have probably the best defensive line in all of football, right? They lead the league in sacks for a reason. Now, in doing that, does that mean like their secondary is a little more vulnerable? Sure. But once again, you still have to get to those points, right? Like in order to pass, if you go back to the Washington Commanders game, like it was, I mean, I get Mariota kind of had a day, but they also try to balance it a little bit with running the football as well. So that's what has to happen going forward. And I feel like I'm frozen and Hamby's not paying attention.
Yeah, he's not paying attention at all, but he must like this.
Good.
Thinks this is good stuff.
Cool.
He's battling with Houston fans and Broncos fans probably right now.
Unreal.
Accurate.
Thanks, Hamby.
I mean, you had some
I was turning green for a second.
Yeah, you had like some sepia tone something going on or something.
I don't know what was happening.
What? What word did you say?
You weren't watching at all, huh, Hamby?
No, what word did you just say?
Sepia tone.
Sepia tone.
Sepia.
Never heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
Man.
He's an old soul, Brent.
You ever use your filters?
He doesn't use the Instagram filters.
You mean we don't really use filter? I don't use filters anymore, but I guess you know what it was. Surprised you haven't flipped through there, Hamby. Look it up, sepia tone. That wasn't an SAT word where you got some crazy good score. I mean, come on. Hey, one other thing I think that's interesting. Well, not one. A lot of things interesting about this game, but we've talked about this a couple of times with Christian Kirk, and Kirk actually hurt the Jags in that comeback win a little on that sketchy pass interference play late in the game. Is this going to be an Evan Ingram game? Is this going to be Sean Payton saying, go off Evan Ingram? Is this how do you, and not only just that, but how do we feel now almost through the season at those moves that we really questioned, right? I mean, Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk, we were jarred by that both of them were gone. We thought maybe one would be gone. It seemingly has worked out just fine. The Jags have 4 tight ends right now that they really like. They think the depth of that position has been outstanding for what they want to do, the ability to block, obviously the ability to catch. So, I mean, I think the simple answer here is surprisingly, I don't feel like they've missed Evan Ingram at all, which is kind of stunning because we have so much respect for Evan in the locker room and on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think at least my biggest worry was that who's going to pick up the slack in terms of being that locker room leader and everything, that intensity. And Brenton Strange has taken that ball and roll with it, man. And, when he's been nothing short of great in terms of the run game and very dependable when his ball comes the way in the pass game. So, no, they don't miss Evan Ingram. Now, will Sean Payton try to involve him a little more? I would probably say so, just because, I think that these things happen. And I think a little extra juice, a little extra motivation from a team that essentially said, we don't need your services anymore. And let's call it like it is. We don't probably think you're good enough to play in this offense. Like, yeah, that's a little motivation to go out there and try to make some plays. I mean, if I was James Gladstone, I would have countered and got Mercedes Lewis off the practice squad. But
that would have been good.
That would have been cool. I mean, hey, man, give us a little intel. We can throw you out there on run, packages and everything. Maybe a little play action boot or something. Like, I mean, I feel like Mercedes doesn't need any more, motivation to dominate in the run game. But you want to bring him up that practice squad, I'd love to see it.
I know you're kind of kidding, but at the same time, like, here's the deal. The Jags tight end room has played so well that they couldn't do that. They had trouble. Last week, I think they had Hunter Long inactive. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they, loved the idea of that, unless he got banged up and I didn't, or something, because he played the week prior. But I think they had to, they wanted Quentin Morris up, and he's earned reps, and they had to put one of them inactive. And so they put Hunter Long inactive. So, they're 4 tight ends. They love them. And I think Liam Cohen talked about him last week, I think it was. I think it was before that game. And folks in the chat are bringing up, listen, we get it. Absolutely. This isn't the scheme fit for Evan Ingram here. But we can still go back to March and still wonder how this was going to be, how this was going to look. But all the things, and we've said this multiple times already in the last couple of weeks, some of the things that the Jags told us early on have kind of come to fruition. They didn't always come to fruition, but they've come to fruition. And one of those things, one of the first things that James Gladstone said was just how much they love Brenton Strange. Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy had the job. He had an introductory news conference on Monday. He flew to Indianapolis for the Combine. We interview him on Tuesday at the Combine. He's at the podium. And one of the first things he talks about from an individual player standpoint was Brenton Strange. And you're like, damn, they love this guy. I mean, it's not like there was a big resume there. And they loved what he could bring to this offense and the puzzle piece. Well, he's done that. And we know how important he is to it. But I think the untold story is the ability to go get Johnny Mundt and also Hunter Long, guys that know this or fit this as well. And then the emergence of Quentin Morris, too. I mean, Morris is right there with the stories of Danny Strigo and B.J. Green and Matt Dickerson. Like, where did these guys come from? And he's contributing. They came right out of the gates the other day and threw it to Morris on the first pass. They threw another one later to him. And obviously the ability to block. Austin, they love what these guys are bringing to the table from a blocking standpoint, all 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, like, you see it in the wide receiver room. You see it in the tight end room. Like this, there is an emphasis on playing physical. There's an emphasis on, taking pride in your blocking. And even though it probably doesn't get you extra contract bucks or whatever like that, like it goes to show you that if players are willing, then your message is getting through. And I think, the fact that we haven't seen Brown a lot on the field, Dwami Brown, is a fact of, maybe he wasn't that reliable in the run game in terms of blocking. And despite what you're paying him, you have to be able to do that. So I like it. I like that there's a precedent on blocking in the run game from both tight ends and wide receivers, because if you throw on the film and you watch some teams around the NFL, there's some, prima donnas, there's some divas out there that play wide receiver that, if it's going to be a run play, they see it as an opportunity to take a rep off, maybe, get their breath a little bit. And I feel like that the Jaguars don't do that.
I see you working YB400. Yeah, smash that like and subscribe button. Go do it. Austin loves when I say that. I'm going to get a hat. Man. I'm going to get a hat. I'm going to say that.
Please don't.
Hey, by the way, have you guys
Please
seen?
Don't.
I want to. Have you seen the? I'd call him a kid. I don't know if he's a kid. Have you seen the guy doing the film breakdowns?
Oh yeah, I've followed him for a while.
What's it? What is it? You should pull it up.
Gosh. Okay.
We're gonna give that guy a shout out. Like, does everybody like him as much as I like him?
Everybody loves him.
Really?
Yes.
We got to get the dude on.
I think he's a student at Auburn.
Is he really?
I think he's a student at Auburn. I'm not positive.
We got to find him. I got some people at Auburn. I got to find them.
Isn't there like a million people doing film breakdowns?
There really are, Austin. And so, like, some of them, like, I have no idea what's good, right? So, but
he signed a deal with, I think, ESPN or something.
Did he really?
Where they like collaborate with him on his posts.
Huh. I didn't know that. He recently came about, obviously, because he's doing more Jag stuff.
It's called Film Watchers 1 on Twitter.
If we give him credit, can we, like, listen to it? Like his most recent one?
I mean, I'll pull up the one from the Jags.
All right. We'll see if we can play it, and then Austin can hear it. But it's really pretty good. And I know everybody's doing film breakdowns, but I even told Ty the other day, I texted him, I was like, I like this guy. I don't know. I have any idea if he knows exactly what he's talking about or not. But I would love to take that guy, actually, and, like, bring it down to the Jags. Be like, what do you think? Is he on point or what? Wouldn't that be actually a fun segment, Austin? Be like, bring it down to the Jags. Anybody doing film breakdowns, from Orlovsky to who knows, and be like, so which part are you laughing at? Like, that dude's got no clue what he's talking about, or is he right on point?
It would be a great segment to bring it to the Jags and turn somebody in who's taken the illegal content of the football team, because apparently everybody else in this world can talk about Jaguars and breakdown video, but us on the Brent and Austin show can't. So yeah.
Here it is.
Awesome.
There is some truth. All right, listen to this.
So yeah, let's play that Jaguars footage.
The Jaguars ran circles around the Jets yesterday, and it's because Liam Cohen had a better play calling day than I've seen from anyone this year. So for starters, on their second red zone trip on a 1st and 10, they come out and they have ETN stacked right behind Tim Patrick. And from that, they motion ETN across the formation and then just run this quick screen out to ETN. But you notice the nickel, he triggers downhill hard. So does the linebacker. So does the safety. So does Will McDonald. He sprints out to the screen. So they all crash hard. It's super aggressive. And Liam Cohen, the next time they're in the red zone, wants to attack that aggression. So the next time they're in the red zone, they come out on a 1st and 10 with ETN stacked right behind Jacoby Myers. From that, they motion ETN on a very similar motion. This time it's an orbit motion, but he's going to stop and then sprint right out to the flat. So when he does that, the linebacker triggers downhill. So does the cornerback. But little do they know, you got Bashal Tutin just sneaking right out into that B gap, and he's running a wheel. And look at it, it's wide open. Tim Patrick held the deep half on this side. Oh my God, what a play design, what a play call, and a great job reacting to that aggression. But then he had another genius play call, because in the first quarter, the Jags came out in this 3-by-1 set in the red zone, and the Jets responded with this cover 2 to the 3 receiver side. So you have the middle runner, you have the hook zone, you have the flat defender, you have the deep half, you have a deep half on the other side as well, but more importantly, you have man coverage on the backside. So on the X receiver, you have man coverage, and then the linebacker takes the running back. So this actually works out for a touchdown, not really due to the play call. Trevor Lawrence just scrambled around, was able to make something happen. But what Liam Cohen noticed is that you have man coverage on that backside, and the running back is matched up against the linebacker, which is why later in the game, just before half, you call that exact same 3-by-1 trip set in the red zone. And what you notice is they attack that look because you have the man coverage on the receiver, you have the man coverage on the running back. They attack the look by motioning ETN until he's about even with Brian Thomas, or maybe just a little inside of him. And then from that, Brian Thomas is going to take this inside shade release. That kind of creates this natural rub concept on that linebacker. And then ETN, he just runs the wheel. He's off to the races. He's wide open. That deep half is trying to sit down on Brian Thomas, and it's just a great play once again. They own the Jets, and honestly, the Jaguars might be the best team in the AFC.
I like them. You couldn't hear any of it, right, Austin?
In his videos, but I didn't hear anything. So
yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you'll have to go back and watch Film Watchers
1
on Twitter. And I saw Duval TV said he's kind of like Madden's godson. Somebody said that.
He sounds a little bit like Gruden.
Or grandson or whatever, yeah. So anyway, that's I thought it was pretty good. Like some of it's really good. I think that would be a cool segment, actually, though, if you could figure out how if they're really right or not. Like, get Liam Cohen to talk about that and see if he, like, nailed it. Yeah. Because everybody believes it. Right? He certainly seemed like he knew what he was talking about. I just love the fact how fast he does. I want to see how long it takes him to do that, to record it.
He normally puts out like a video a day now.
Is that what he does?
Yeah.
So he's catching on. He's a young guy, too. Like,
there's like no info on him.
Really?
Yeah.
He's kind of an incognito.
Yes.
Interesting. That's unusual today. To not be able to find somebody. That's pretty wild. Hey, back to Evan Ingram for a moment, just to give you his numbers on the year. He's third leading pass catcher for the Denver Broncos. Let me make sure I have that right. 41 catches, 359 yards, 8.8. I mean, we saw a lot of that here in Jacksonville. Only one touchdown. We saw some seasons where it took him a while to get into the end zone. And Sutton and Franklin lead the team. He's also third in targets. So they use him, and they'll probably try to use him here. I think what's fascinating now not just now, the Denver Broncos, I look at them from their offensive perspective. I look at the Jags from their offensive perspective. I think they have a lot of guys, like I said earlier in the show, that can beat you, and you don't know which one's going to be his day. I think if you go back to 2022 under Doug Peterson and even early 23, you had the same situation. You didn't know if it was going to be Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, someone from the backfield. I think that was the year, or 23 was the year that ETN had the most receiving yards in his career. Then you go back to even Doug in 2017 when they won the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots. They've had that. Go over to the Patriots for years and years. Go to the Chiefs when they don't have Tyreek Hill. A lot of different guys. And I almost wonder if that's a better way to do it than have like your Jamar Chase or your Justin Jefferson that everybody's keyed in on, Austin. I feel like it's better sometimes to be able to throw to 4 or 5 different guys and nobody knows which day which guy's going to do his thing.
No, I agree with you. I think, it's hard to go back to like all the Super Bowl winners and everything like that in terms of what they had. But yeah, I would assume that teams that are a little more balanced on offense and don't have that one true receiver probably have a little more success, right? Because when you have a guy like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, these high paid wide receivers, there is a pressure to get them their targets and to get them their stats. I mean, we saw this last year when Minnesota played here with Sam Darnold, where Sam Darnold had one of his worst games of the season simply because when they got to the red zone, instead of taking the easy thing, they tried to throw in a double coverage a couple of times to Justin Jefferson. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think from a game planning standpoint on defense, it's harder when you got to plan against, okay, was 1A going to beat us? Is 1B going to beat us? Or is their tight end going to beat us? As opposed to saying, okay, well, we're playing Justin Jefferson or Puka Nacua. Let's put 2 guys on him and we'll shut the rest down later.
Yeah, I guess that's a really good one, though. A good example of it, because I was thinking Jefferson, I'm thinking Chase, and you're thinking the Bengals and the Vikings, and for a variety of reasons, they're not like that good this year. So it's not just it's not everybody would take those guys, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want Justin Jefferson, but I do think the Rams are a good example of, well, they really target Puka Nacua, and they're very good.
Well, I mean, don't get it twisted, though. They still have Devontae Adams playing at a really high level before he tore that hamstring, but because he was kind of like the red zone guy in terms of touchdowns and everything.
Yeah, true.
I guess it's probably a little more like the Seahawks with Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then you have former Jacksonville Jaguar Cooper Kupp, but that's about it in terms of like what you're trying to go for at wide receiver.
Second Kupp mention this week. I saw Liam Cohen mention him on Monday, so he's still
Brent,
talking about him.
Yeah, you have to give credit to Jaguars alumni. Come on now, you have to give them the respect.
They were there for 3 or 4 hours. Listen, and I go back. I've said this before. We used to do this. This did change, but we did this a long time in Jacksonville, where for the longest of times you could find your best receivers in the league, and they weren't winning Super Bowls. And the guy that really changed that a bit was like Tyreek Hill in Kansas City. Then they started winning Super Bowls. And now I think you've seen a little bit more of that high-flight wide receiver really can get you there. Obviously, Jamar Chase and the Bengals at least got there. So, but for the longest time, you could go back for like some 15, 16 years. You get your A.J. Greens of the world, or even your Larry Fitzgeralds of the world, or you name it. Heck, even Randy Moss, who was part of that unbelievable Patriots team, and the Patriots had a dynasty, and they didn't win that year. Now, I know they got there and probably should have won, but they didn't. So it's an interesting position in that way. I think it's changed a little bit where that top flight receiver can really help you to a Super Bowl, but there was so much evidence before that guy wasn't enough. And I really think if I'm looking at, and you've said this so many times, the Patriots would just take a guy away. Well, you look at Denver, and I just don't know if you're Campanile this week, who you're really trying to take away. I've already said it a couple of times this week about the Jags. Who would you really try to take away? You would think Brian Thomas Jr. because he's dangerous, but would you really try to take away Jacoby Myers because he looks like he's the engine that makes things go for everybody else? See, I like that. That's really advantageous for an offense, in my opinion, where you have to think about who you really want to take away, if anybody. Or you just have to defend all bunch of guys that you don't know who's going to play. Because it wouldn't surprise me this week if for this football game, the two leading receivers for this football game are both tight ends, Austen.
Yeah, I mean, it could very well be the case. Yeah, I mean, if answering the question of who do you take away, Jacoby Myers or Brian Thomas Jr., I almost do take away Jacoby Myers more because I think he is kind of like the cog that makes the entire machine go. And I don't want to because they're different types of players, but I remember when Houston had, DeAndre Hopkins, and Hopkins could run the route tree, wasn't the fastest dude, but ran very, really crisp routes. But Hopkins' thing was he was always dependable. If you throw the football up, he's going to get it. And I get the same sense of Jacoby Myers, and then obviously they add more speedster with Hopkins and that Houston, wide receiver room. They had a little more success there. That's how I would treat the Jaguars, where I would take away Myers and make sure he doesn't get his targets and his receptions. And then I would deal with Brian Thomas Jr. and everybody else secondary.
I got here's a good question, or at least comment. The Jags are one lockdown cornerback and one elite safety away from a Super Bowl. See, I don't think that's true, by the way. To me, they're more of an elite defensive tackle away than that. So I disagree with the thought. I don't mind the thought. I'm just saying I disagree with the thought. And I don't also think they're one player away. That's the thing. You're never one player away. You're just not. And that's not how the league works. So But it does raise an interesting question. The Jags look pretty good in a lot of areas right now, Austen, a lot of different areas. And is there something, do you still feel that way about that defensive tackle position? That, man, if they were able to land Quinnen Williams, right, or one of the guys they were chasing after at the trade deadline, what would they look like? Do you still feel like that?
Yeah, so real quick, what the comment was is that they're one cornerback away from being?
Yeah, lockdown corner and elite safety.
An elite safety. I would err more towards lockdown corner just because I think where this Jaguars defense has been beat has been by one receivers, whether it's Jetson Smith-Njigba, whether it's Nico Collins. I do think, and then, we could say Puka was out, but at the time, the one receiver was Devonta Adams. He had 3 touchdowns against the Jaguars?
Yeah, for about 8 yards.
So actually, yeah. Well, yeah, but hey, nevertheless, man.
I get it.
3 touchdowns is 3 touchdowns. We can sit here and say Etienne didn't have a good day of running the football. Well, he got 3 touchdowns receiving. Still works. I think, do I feel the same as I did going into the season? Not necessarily about the defensive tackle position, just because Eric Armstead has gotten his quarterback sacks, but most importantly, they can stop the run. So if you're asking me what this team is missing right now, I think if Travis Hunter was still healthy, it would look mighty different. Now, once again, if Travis Hunter is healthy, then is Jacoby Myers here? Probably not. So it's a give and take situation. But I would say right now, if I'm looking at one piece that could put this defense over the top, I would probably go to lockdown corner even more right now than interior defensive line, because this defensive line has showed that they can stop the run. Getting after the quarterback isn't necessarily they're not maybe top 5 per se, but I think they do enough to get after the cornerback. And obviously in the playoffs, if you're going to play a team like the Texans again and Nico Collins, or, I guess the Bills receivers don't really scare you. And I guess really the Patriots receivers don't scare you. But if you're playing against a true number 1 receiver, that's going to scare you a little bit.
Yeah, I get it. You just mentioned it, though. They actually think they have the elite corner. He unfortunately is injured for the year, so they could go that route in the future. One last thing, you got to get out of here. Just a quick thought. Tua's benched. That's it for him in Miami, even with the price tag. What do you think?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised just because they're out of the playoff hunt. So because I don't think they have visions for Tua in the future. With as much money as he's commanding. So, yeah, I think he very well might be done in Miami.
Yeah, and keep in mind, you've got what's his name? Zach Wilson as well, but Ewers is going to be the guy. But Zach Wilson's down there in Miami, so it would be interesting. He's a play away potentially of getting a little run here late in the season. It's pretty crazy the 201 to kind of go to the bench at this point, especially with them being out of it. All right, man, you got to get out of here. Good luck with the testing and everything today. We'll see you back at it later in the week. Safe travels.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
All righty. I'm encouraging Austen not to come tomorrow because he's going to red eye, drive from Orlando, and catch a nap, man. But he wants to come on the show. It's his show, too.
It is.
But remember what we said about the perfect attendance certificate. It's overrated.
Yeah.
Not that any of us have the perfect attendance, but we'll talk a little bit more about Tua. Here's something that I just retweeted. Pro Football Talk just brought up, that the Jags-Broncos game is obviously a marquee game. But Fox and the NFL aren't treating it that way. And they really aren't. It's a 4:05 game instead of a 4:25 game. It's not Tom Brady on the call and the number one team.
Who is it?
I knew you were going to say that. I know now I lost it in my mind. I'll tell you when we come back. I think they just formally announced it yesterday, but I think we already knew they were
coming.
Can
we freaking get Cattle on one time?
Well, you can. It's on Fox.
Oh, it is on Fox.
Yeah, so that's what also is pretty interesting. This has got to be a record. I'm not looking it up because it doesn't matter. Yeah, this has got to be a record for the most games on Fox in a season for the Jags. Just has to be. And when they're on CBS, we get that one crew, which hasn't been bad. Actually, I've had J.J. Watt's crew twice. That's Ian Eagle and J.J. That's a good crew.
That's a good crew.
But yeah, man, my man Catalan, I don't think he's doing any Jags games this year unless he's coming down for the ender.
We got Kevin Kugler and Daryl Johnson.
That's right. And Kugler's great. He used to do preseason here in Jacksonville, so I was sidelined while he was doing the TV games in preseason. And Kugler does a great job with, I think, the NFL, but also does a lot of college basketball, too, much like Catalan on the Fox side. And he's really good. I think he does a lot of Westwood One stuff, too. So, yeah, it's a good crew. I think that's a good broadcast crew overall. But where's Tom Brady? Could have had Brady maybe for this one. That would have been kind of fun.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it when we come back. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax, 24/7 Network.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, we have what you need.
Get a Moto Guzzi Stone Corsa for just $235 a month, or a Triumph Trident for as low as $207 a month, or the popular Honda Rebel 1100 DCT starting at a low $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from all of our great brands, only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I wanted to play in the NFL.
That's it. Back to her left side, takes a shot. And into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass. Say he doesn't make a tackle. You still feel like his presence is felt in every single play.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants. where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep, can't eat. See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $100 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy.
Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown!
Duval! ATN is going to take it all the way!
Right here on CBS 47.
CBS 47.
Right here. Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colt Tilly, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
2025 peak technology. Our trophies for winning bowl games have now become toasters. This is the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Kalani Sitake and Brent Key, BYU, Georgia Tech. This is incredible stuff. Either somebody has way too much time on their hands, or we have just come so far as a civilization.
Everybody
We're literally
loves it.
toasting a Pop-Tart in a trophy.
People love the Pop-Tart thing, man. I mean, going back the last couple of years, they've really won the bowl time. Other than like the playoff games, they've been the biggest story.
They have.
It used to be the Mayo one.
Yes.
Right?
Oops.
Because the dumping of the mail, which I think still does happen.
They still happen, yep.
And
but hey, I mean, shame on Notre Dame for sitting out.
The Pop-Tart Bowl? Or just in general?
Well, in general, but that would have been them.
So that one would have been them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't. If you, by the way, like you pick, maybe it's March Madness, you pick all the things.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to offer, they do like $1 million challenge if you can pick all the games.
Oh, the bowl games, yes.
No, if you could pick, you walk up to somebody that does not have like a Google in front of them, and you could name all the bowl games, you should win a prize.
Oh, I agree.
I have no idea what bowl games won anymore. I don't know what's like the Midas whatever. I don't know which one. I know where they're played, like Shreveport, all these other places. I mean, how many bowl games are in Tampa and Orlando now? Two each?
Citrus and Pop-Tarts in Orlando.
And they are called Citrus and Pop-Tarts now. Like if you had told me the Pop-Tart Bowl was in Orlando, I wouldn't have known that. That's where it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in.
Do we have an Uncrustable Bowl? Because it seems like we should. I thought the Cheez-It thing was down in Orlando.
Oh, is that so? Maybe it's not.
See? This is what I'm talking about.
It is Cheez-It, isn't it?
So Uncrustable should get in this game, by the way.
Okay, so it's Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. So we're both right.
It's the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Okay.
And then the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
I still can't believe the comeback for Cheez-Its in general.
Huh?
It feels like, well, I don't know about a comeback. There are two things that I think about, and this is not going to hit you the same way. But there are two brands. One's Cheez-It and one's Dairy Queen. Okay, that when I think of, like, I've been eating Cheez-Its for like most of my whole life. Right? And I like Cheez-Its a lot.
They're great.
I get extra toasty Cheez-Its all the time if I hit Publix or Winn-Dixie. All the time. Eat way too many Cheez-Its. And, but what I'm getting at is it feels like they just elevated in the last 10 years. Now they have, because they've hit the thing that everybody does, right? The every flavor of Cheez-It, like Tabasco sauce Cheez-It, cheddar Cheez-It. They've reinvented themselves to be the the Cheez-It Puffs now. Like, so if you go
I was not aware of all these.
If you go to Publix now and you go to
the chips aisle,
you will see like just this green wall right here of Cheez-It options. It used to be like you had Cheez-It or maybe reduced fat.
Okay.
Cheez-Its once that became a thing.
Sure.
And that's it. Now you've got the Cheez-It Bowl. Like, they're actually spending money like all the time in commercials, Super Bowls, and college football. So that's my point. Like,
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, Coach.
They came, and this is now in the last 10 years probably. But they elevated their game. I'd love to know the marketing of Cheez-It because it wasn't a thing when I was in high school or college or even when I first got in this business. And now all of a sudden it's everywhere is Cheez-It. Why did Cheez-It resonate with people to get to where they are at? The other one is Dairy Queen. Now, Dairy Queen to me was the place that you would see in the 90s and early 2000s that looked like it was going out of business.
Okay, real quick. The brand Cheez-It has demonstrated strong growth, including a significant 66% dollar growth over a 4-year period leading up to 2024 report.
But that shows you advertising works because they've been everywhere. Mm-hmm. They've been into football. And this is now going on a good decade, I think. They've spent the dollars. Advertising works. Come on aboard. Here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
It does.
So there's that, and then my other one is Dairy Queen. Because when I was in college or just getting out, if you saw a Dairy Queen, it looked like it was about to shut down. It looked like, you know how like an old gas station looks like, is that thing still open or not?
Of course.
I felt like Dairy Queen looked the same way. Well, then there was like this rebirth of Dairy Queen in the last, in my opinion, 20 years. They are, first of all, they all look great. They've been remodeled. And now a lot of them will pair up with, maybe it's not a Taco Bell, but, another fast food chain, and they'll be right next to it, or maybe they'll be in the gas station. So Dairy Queens are everywhere. When we were driving down last week from Ohio, Dairy Queens are everywhere. And I really thought they were about to go extinct. And Dairy Queens, by the way, great. The Blizzard's awesome. But anyway, those are the two things in my mind that I'm like, why has this all of a sudden gone nuts in the last decade? These two older brands that now seem to be everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there are some other examples of this. But anyway, that's my brand talk. I'd like to take a marketing class somewhere and ask those questions about those two brands. Like, who came up with the idea? We're not only going to save it, we're going to flip it and really go nuts. And like you just said, you just said the Cheez-It brand's doing really well.
That's what it looks like.
Now, which Cheez-It brand? Is that part of Nabisco? See, that's the other thing that's fascinating, right? Like Nabisco has a million brands if it's part of Nabisco. I think it's Nabisco. Am I saying that right? Yeah. And
No. Cheez-It is owned by Kellanova, formerly Kellogg's Snack Division.
okay, so it was a Kellogg's brand. Okay, so that's another thing, right? So
Nabisco makes cheese nips.
cheese nips, which my mom probably did buy back in the day. I would have the cheese nips.
I remember those.
Yeah. So I don't know the Kellogg's brand when they were under that. Here's my other curiosity: is how do you pick that brand to go crazy for? Like, why is it that one that you're going to be like, hey, this is really working? So, I mean, I'm sure they do focus groups and all those things, but it fascinates me. The Blizzards are to die for. Dipped cone, good marketing team. There's only 2 Krispy Kremes in Jacksonville.
Stop doing this bull crap. Overrated. Stop.
I didn't grow up on Krispy Kreme, okay?
Well, then
it's more of like, Steph would be the same thing. Steph's like, if you see the hot sign, but that's never been a thing in my world. Like, I've seen the hot sign and never
You don't
stopped.
know the glories of a hot donut.
That's fair. Maybe, I just don't, I'm not a Krispy Kreme guy because I grew up around Dunkin' Donuts, right? But that's another that's a fascinating discovery here, people, because the donut shops that are all over the place, how can people want that many donuts? You know, like the new donut shops? Maybe it's like like a Parlor Donuts or something like that. Have you heard of those?
Yeah.
That make the big donuts?
Oh, yeah.
How can our society eat that many donuts? That you actually have donut shops popping up all over the place. They're not even coffee shops, they're donut shops. I can see if you have donuts inside the coffee shop.
Right.
But do we consume that many donuts as a society? That all these specialty donut shops making these huge donuts?
Well, I think where you might be going wrong is you might be thinking of just individuals going in there for themselves.
I know that's
instead of the person going to get it for the company.
There's a lot of that. But it's surprising to me that you have to have like brick and mortar for that. Maybe you do. Maybe one is the other.
I got an important question for you.
All right.
Okay. First of all, when's the last time you had a banana?
It's been a little bit, but I mean, not like 5 years. I probably had one a couple months ago.
All right. Which way do you peel it?
Down.
Which way do you start?
You mean, like at the top?
You're not supposed to do that.
What do you mean you're not supposed to?
It's not the best way to do it. You're supposed to peel it from the bottom.
Why?
Because it's cleaner. You can't mush it. You don't get the strings, and the way the monkeys do it. So we should probably just follow suit with whatever they're doing. We had this discussion in the newsroom earlier this morning.
What do you mean that's the way they do it? It's the way the animals do it?
That's the way the monkeys peel the bananas. They don't do it from the stem. That's the base. That's actually what should be the bottom. The top is really the bottom, and that's where you peel it from. You just dig your finger in real quick, and it's a clean execution.
Never heard that.
I've been doing it for years. I have a banana every day.
I'm not eating a banana if it's mushy anyway.
Well, I'm not either.
Which, by the way, I love banana bread and whatever.
Yeah.
Banana bread's like one of my favorites.
Yep.
And obviously that's made of mushed up bananas, I think.
Right.
So, and you used to eat them as a kid, like as a baby, bananas mushed up probably.
Probably, yeah.
But I tell you, it's gross as an adult.
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
It's just not good. Hey, by the way, YB400. Exactly sure where you are in town? Oh, don't go. You're over there on the west side, it looks like. There's an apple fritter place, and I can't remember the name. I'm like giving out shout-outs all over the place. Apple fritter place near JU. Over there in Arlington. It's like, I think it's about a mile from JU. And I'm not like going to chase apple fritters. But I have actually chased apple fritters over there. Can't remember the place. It's right over near JU. If you haven't tried, I'll try to get the name. But it's really good. Really, really good. Like, I've legitimately driven there from St. Johns County.
Wow.
To go there for, like, Steph's birthday one year and get the apple fritters. And it's really good.
Apparently, Orlando has a third bowl game, the Staff DNA Cure Bowl at Camping World. Old Dominion
what?
Staff DNA Cure Bowl. Old Dominion versus South Florida. It's today.
There's a bowl game today.
Yeah.
We should have done a bowl pool.
Oh, there was a couple last week.
I know there was some Saturday.
Boise State, Washington. I didn't even know that. So yeah, staff DNA, baby.
Is any? Yes, Mr. Pico, Donut Shop. That's the name of it.
Well, yeah, of course.
Have you been to the donut shop?
Of course. From Jacksonville.
So have you had the apple fritters?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know that was on 103rd.
No. Oh, is there another one on 103rd?
Oh, I thought that was what he was saying.
No, I don't think so. I think it's called the Donut Shop over
Near
there,
JU. Oh, yeah. Of
Is
course.
it the same place?
That's Donut Shop.
So that's the same thing. There's one on West Side, one.
No, I don't know what 103rd is about.
All right. Well, the one on.
Yes, Donut Shop is incredible.
And I don't know about the donuts, but I know about the apple fritters.
The donuts are insane.
And they'll run out of the apple fritters now.
It's like the beach has Sonati's, the Arlington area has Donut Shop.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Yep.
Yeah. Weber says they're called Uglies. I'm a little surprised that Weber knows about that.
Why?
Well, because he's down in St. Johns County, too. I don't know. Why is he going to get donuts?
Oh, okay. Well.
Or apple fritters. Maybe everybody knows about it. Everybody does know about it because if you don't get there early enough, they run out of them.
I guess so.
Which is also kind of a fascinating thing. Like if you're selling that, we did this in Rhode Island. We chase around, I bring this up every year, the chocolate sprinkled donuts.
Yeah, I brought some in last week and you didn't have one.
No, that's because they were wrong. They were chocolate covered from Krispy Kreme, first of all, and they had rainbow sprinkles on them. If you have rainbow sprinkles on them, they're not the same as the chocolate sprinkles. Got to be chocolate sprinkles. So, but they don't make them anywhere but New England, which is amazing. And they sell out of them, man, all the time. So if you sell out of them all the time, why don't you make more? And if you're selling out of them all the time, why aren't they all over the country? People like this. So, I mean, maybe that's a supply and demand thing, though, where you create then want for it, right? You're like, damn, I didn't get it today. I'm going back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that might be even with the apple fritters at the donut shop.
And I would kill for one of those.
Maybe I'll get one for the holidays. Now I'm thinking of it. Maybe I'll go get some.
Have you ever had a Sonati's?
Yeah, I've had. Listen, here's the deal on me. I'm not like a really weird deal because I love Swedish Fish and all the gummy stuff, but I'm not much of a sweets guy in general. Like when it comes to cookies or brownies or like a lot of the stuff that a Sonati's would make. Like again, apple fritters, even to me, like I'm not like, oh, I got to go get one. Back home for the donut. When I'm home, I'll go grab one. But I'm not like shopping for donuts all the time. So that doesn't do a lot for me. So, like, Sonati's is fantastic, but it's also not like, oh, I drive by Sonati's once a week to go to Jags Report Live.
Oh, right,
and I'm not like, oh, man, I wish I had that right now.
Sure.
But that's just because I don't really eat that kind of food often. Well, you got a favorite from Sonati's? I mean, we've when we had our 1 year anniversary on ESPN 690 for the show, we did Sonati's I think we did the logo for the people that came to the show. Pretty sure we did that. So,
I mean, the blueberry one is insane. The pumpkin is insane. They're all good.
Yeah, Delphonic, it is called, I'm not sure if it's called good marketing. I think it's called good product. That's why we're talking about it for free.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, it's like Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's, I've said Buc-ee's name more in front of a microphone in my career than any other establishment, and they've never given me a penny. But Buc-ee's is kind of fun to talk about. And people like talking about it.
Yeah, I feel like
and
that one's a little bit more of a gimmick than like a Sonati's. There's nothing special about Donut Shop. Their donuts are awesome.
Yeah, well, Buc-ee's is also...
It's a spectacle.
Well, it is a spectacle. There you go. Maybe not one product, but the whole product is a spectacle.
It's a gimmick.
I'm not sure it's a gimmick.
Kind of a gimmick, man.
I don't know. That beef jerky's pretty good.
All the merch and all that crap.
Yeah, that part is.
Oh, Pico.
Come on, wedding cake from Sonati's. I'm now divorced. Listen, I feel like they have a lot of those people.
Yeah, that's everywhere, man.
And they've stayed in business. It does. Absolutely. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Delphonic. Yeah, you kind of make, instead of saturating the market with, that makes them, I think there's something to that. Maybe I'll start tweeting once every 3 days. Maybe not.
Your tweets would go crazy.
That's right. I'm still stuck on this banana deal.
Yeah, man. On the bottom.
I'm not doing that. I'm not peeling a banana from the bottom.
It's way cleaner.
Hey, Smack Get. We've been doing this show for 7.5 hours so far this week. We've talked about the freaking Jaguars and the Broncos for about 6 hours and 45 minutes. We've got 2 more days to go. Relax. Just enjoy some donuts. Get hungry. Maybe head on over to the donut shops, Sonati's, whatever else. And Delphonic, you are trying way too hard to get Hick reinstated on Twitter, by the way, because he ain't going to give you anything. I mean, at least I'll send you a hat or something. I kind of like Hicken being off Twitter. I know those Knowles fans liked it during that Gator game. We'll be back. Hey, guess what? We'll talk about football a little bit more. And I didn't talk about Tom Brady not being on the call, but there's something that makes some sense on why he wouldn't be. But anyway, are the Jags not getting enough love? Is this not a higher build game? Should it be? By Fox, by the NFL. And I know everybody wanted this game flexed, and I told you why that's not happening and was never going to happen, but I'll do it again. And it's a fantastic football weekend coming up. Thursday to Monday. Lock it in, and I know you will. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, we have what you need.
Get a Moto Guzzi Stone Corsa for just $235 a month, or a Triumph Trident for as low as $207 a month, or the popular Honda Rebel 1100 DCT starting at a low $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from all of our great brands, only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I wanted to play in the NFL.
That's it. Back to her left side. Takes a shot. And into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass. Say he doesn't make a tackle. You still feel like his presence is felt in every single play.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep, can't eat. See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $4 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars! Jaguars.
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy. Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown!
Duval! ETN is going to take it all the way.
Right here on CBS 47.
CBS 47.
Right here. Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
TJ Finley. I can't believe this dude's still playing. This is the guy. Where's that first one?
LSU.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different. That's why I had that name. Wasn't there a TJ Finley that played at NC State?
Not that I remember.
I feel like he played here in the bowl game. So I think there was. I think it was TJ Finley. But anyway, that's kind of what in my mind. That's what I had. So
7th school upcoming.
That's amazing.
Disregard the Taco Bell graphic.
Yo, what's up with the Taco Bell graphic?
Just for the meme.
Just more free love, I guess. That is amazing. 7 new schools. So he got the NCAA?
Guess so.
Clearance?
Now there's a huge,
and where was he go? What's the last one?
He was at Georgia State.
Oh, so he's in the portal now.
He's going to enter because it technically is not open until like next week or whatever.
So he's been at 6 schools and he'll be at a 7th if he plays another year.
Right. And obviously the last 6 weeks we've had the head coaching carousel. Well, now this week it starts the quarterback carousel. Every kind of position now that the portal's opening up in 2 weeks, but specifically quarterbacks because we've had Lagway and Raiola, which you could talk about Raiola for as long as you wanted. And
Raiola's
Philo.
got the same resume as that dude. Commit, decommit.
Oh, especially high school. He went to 4 different high schools.
Yeah.
Committed to Georgia, obviously, and then Nebraska.
There's something crazy about that. And I think it's insane. And I understand
normal to them.
But it's so normal, yet I wonder if we come away thinking it's not cool. That's not the word. But someday that dude is going to have
pretty cool.
In 10 years, he's going to have a great wall of jerseys.
He never played for these schools, though.
That's fine. You got to have a great wall of jerseys. But he's also going to have, to me, it's like vacation. It's like if you're going on a summer vacation. Some people go on the same vacation all the time,
right?
Which is cool because, I got my best friend. He goes to New Hampshire every year, every summer for a week and a half or something. They go to this place, and it's like second home every summer, right?
Yeah.
And that's something to be said for that. Appreciate it. But then, I don't really want to do that. I want to go to a different place. This summer, I want to go. I don't know. We got 3 different places.
Go to
maybe
Banff.
I want to go. Yeah, go to Banff. Nick's been there. Go to Lake Tahoe. Go to Wisconsin. Go to wherever. But that's what we like to do. I think most people in society like that, right? Where they like to go to different places and try different places out. No, you're not interrupting this. I'll lose my train of thought.
Okay,
but
go ahead.
So I kind of feel like today's day and age of college is, hey, I'll go try 4 different colleges out in 4 different places, in 4 different towns, 4 different experiences. Academically, athletically, by the way, kind of grow your network of people. Now, I don't know if they still love you when you leave. Who knows? But there's almost something strangely attractive to it, to me, where you can now go and it's realistic and almost okay to go to all these different places and try it out. And what I really like is if you're climbing the ladder. You know, if you started at a JUCO and you ended up at a D2 school and you played well enough to get to a D1 school, and then you could go to the SEC, you know, like there's this gradual progression, which almost makes it feel like anybody in a job when they're climbing the ladder of a job. So I get it. We all, like, especially my age people, we will be like, what the hell? Really? Dude's been to 6 different schools. And that's probably how I really do feel about it overall. But I'm starting to kind of come around on this other idea of, hey, man, life's about experiences. Life's about people and places and all these other things. And it will help you down the road if you're not, especially going to the NFL. And this guy probably ain't going to the NFL, right? So if that's the case, and he's got quite a story to tell, and places that he's been, and by the time he is done with it, he might be 30, number one. But number 2, he should know where he wants to go and what he wants to do and who he wants to be around. That's for damn sure.
You would certainly hope so.
What are you laughing at?
I just saw your response to Mr. Ben on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. The Denver folks, man, they did not like that whole gamesmanship thing. I don't understand it. But they
guys
said
are
it was
truly
effing pathetic.
Bleeping pathetic and know nothing about the NFL. Happy holidays, Ben.
Got to kill those guys with kindness, man.
I love it. But also, I wanted to bring up TJ Finley because just, the quarterback carousel with Lagway portal, Raiola portal, Sorsby portal, who's very impressive, the guy from Cincinnati. So a lot of people might not know exactly who he is if you're stuck in the SEC bubble. Perfectly understandable. But really impressive guy for Cincinnati, who's probably going to command a pretty big payday from, I would guess, a top 15 school. And then one to keep an eye out for if you are Florida is Aaron Philo, who was the backup at Georgia Tech, backing up Haynes King, fully expected to take over the reins when Haynes King graduates after the season, like now. But he's hitting the portal, and a lot of people expect him to follow Buster Faulkner, the offense coordinator, to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not a big fan of that, it's probably because you think that Buster Faulkner is a running quarterback's offensive coordinator, where I think a lot of people, including myself, would be like, hey, pump the brakes. He's a lot more than that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say is a lot more than that.
Philo has played 2 games. He threw for 300 in both and set the Georgia Tech's passing record, like in spot starts. So they tailored the offense to him like that, and he was incredible for those 2 games. Like, they were at times probably irrational, given how much of a leader Haynes King was, how big of a captain, but they were at times Georgia Tech fans calling for Philo this year. So this is not just a guy who was, simply waiting in the wings. This is a guy who was really pushing for the job at times, and he's not a running quarterback. He can, but this is a guy that wants to drop back and push the rock down the field. All that being said, I do understand that Gator Nation might rather have somebody who's had success at the collegiate level already, played a full season, maybe like a guy like Darian Mensah, which, by the way, is going to come about 4 times the price tag as Philo, guy who played at Tulane with Sumrall. Then Duke paid out the wazoo to be their quarterback and played really well for them, although their record wouldn't indicate it. He's probably going to be, I would assume, up on the market as well. He'll probably be the top transfer quarterback in this portal. Could you go get a guy like that and he reunites with Sumrall? Maybe. Rez Claff, the guy who is at Tulane now, who is at BYU, had all that stuff. He's decent. He's pretty good. He's had a lot of success collegiately, a lot of experience. Could you go get a guy like him? Philo as well. So there's a lot of options for Florida fans, and they're starting to kind of lick their chops now with the portal, I guess, 2 weeks away.
It'll be really interesting to see how excited Gator fans get or whoever fans get, because there was plenty of reason to be excited about DJ Lagway being in Gainesville.
Of course.
And I don't highly recruited guy, but, can't miss guy, all this stuff. And then we see how that worked out. So there'll be a little wait and see on it, or you just get excited about whoever's going to be there. Will be interesting to see. Brent Martineau, Jason Hamby, Austen Lane in Vegas joined us for the first hour. You can always go back and listen to the podcast. It's up every day, 1:30 in the afternoon, and wherever you listen to your podcasts, also all over social media, YouTube. Like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter as well, Facebook and Twitch even, if you like to find us there. Just part of the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. The Pro Football Talk just said, is the NFL pumping this game up enough, the Jags and the Broncos? And it's pretty interesting if you've got Pro Football Talk saying something about that the Jags should be pumped up more. Feels like they've been very biased against the Jags for years and years. At least that's what fans would say. And I kind of wondered the same thing. Why not have your number one crew on this? Well, they're playing Saturday night games this week, so that makes sense. It's Bears and Packers on Fox, so Tom Brady's going to be on that game. Jags instead will get Kevin Kugler, which, by the way, is fine. Moose Johnston, fine. That's a good crew. So, I don't get wrapped up in that stuff. But it would have been kind of – I will say I'm kind of interested when Tony Romo was doing the AFC Championship. And then the next year, I think they came to Jacksonville and did Patriots-Jags in 2018. May have done one other game since then, maybe in 22. They must have done some games in 22 with the Chiefs, I would assume. But when you get Nance and Romo, it's kind of cool. I think that's a cool thing for Jags fans and for the Jags. I think Brady would be that way in a sense. And so it would have been cool to see this game played up a little bit more if Denver had lost to Green Bay, this game would really mean a lot. Really, really mean a lot. It still means a lot.
Pretty much for the number one seed.
Yeah, so I'm a little surprised they didn't see that. Again, I get it. Packers, Bears, that's going to be all over.
Because that one's 2 or 7 seed.
Well, and it's a primetime game and 2 huge bases, right? That's a game everybody around the country will see. More than I understand from a TV exec standpoint, the Jags and Denver won't be. But here's what Pro Football Talk was talking about. It's like a regional game. A lot of people around the country will not see this game, which that part seems a bit insane because the late games on Sunday I don't think are great. That 4 o'clock window, and I think CBS has a couple of them. So the 4 o'clock games are Falcons, Cardinals. No. Steelers, Lions. Now listen, that's a good game potentially, but I think that has blowout potential, right? And Raiders, Texans, who cares? That's actually the 4:25 game on CBS.
Seriously.
Steelers, Lions, 4:25, and Jags, of course, are at 4:05.
Would you say the CBS has the upper hand picking games over Fox, or is it really kind of an even distribution of who gets to say?
I think it's pretty even distribution. I think the reason, again, I don't know all the rules. I don't pay attention all the time, but I think I can logically come up with the why. And because Saturday games are both on Fox, that's a Fox doubleheader. Eagles, Commanders, then Packers, Bears. My guess is that moves their 4 o'clock game of the week window on Sunday to Saturday, right? So essentially Packers Bears is that game of the week that normally would fit in that 4:25 window, because I know this because we're doing a postgame show and there's not OT. Doesn't Fox usually do OT? Again, I'm not privy to all the postgame stuff because we're usually working at this time, but they usually will go until 8 o'clock on that show on Fox on a normal week with their OT, or maybe they'll go to 7:30, whatever it is. But they're not doing that, because their crew is obviously all working on Saturday because of the Saturday games. So I can see the logic there. And that's why CBS is now in that afternoon window. And so the CBS games aren't great. I mean, again, Pittsburgh, Detroit's fine. But are you really looking forward to Pittsburgh, Detroit?
No.
because I kind of feel like Detroit's going to win that game rather easily. Maybe, and the game really doesn't even matter that much in the AFC. So the game that matters more is the night game, the Baltimore game, to kind of see where they are positioned against the New England Patriots on that whole Steelers-Ravens thing. So anyway, that kind of fascinating to see how it shook out. And I will say once again, if you've missed this game was never being flexed. And the reason why it was never being flexed is because Denver plays on Christmas Day. And they were not going to do that to the Broncos. And that's correct. You're already playing on a short week. You're not going to now move the window even shorter and play on Sunday Night Football, let's just say. And then have a short week to play on Christmas Day in another marquee matchup. And also, you probably don't want to put the Broncos or one team in that window twice in a 5-day span. So that wouldn't make much sense. So the Patriots-Ravens game is the one that got flexed to that Sunday night because it was supposed to be, I think, Bengals-Dolphins. But that was never happening for the Jags. And I know people were clamoring for it and wanted it, and it was never happening. And we here at CBS and Fox say thank you for not happening. We like to keep the games on CBS and Fox and not switch it over to NBC.
Just looking at the schedule for this week, I don't know how much of this is tied to, this is how it is every single week. But the Jags Broncos, ticket is the second highest ticket price.
Really?
Of the weekend.
What do you got?
Followed by Pittsburgh at Detroit.
What's the get-in price?
So it says for Detroit, tickets as low as $234.
I tell you what, Detroit is one of the most expensive tickets in the league, I think.
I don't think I would have guessed that.
No, they do. I've seen this before where
Was
the
it
get-in
always
prices
that
are
way?
crazy.
Even when they were like
No.
terrible?
No, I don't think so. But I think in the last few years, if you look this up, you'd be surprised how many times Detroit's at the top of that list or near the top of the list.
Okay. All right, well, the Jags Broncos ticket is as low as $225.
That's pretty good. Again, I think the Denver fan base is fantastic. I mean, it goes way back, too. It's a lot like Kansas City. I think it's a little overlooked in terms of going to the games and how much they love the Broncos. And now a lot of people have moved into that area of the country, so they probably have a pretty transient population at this point. But, again, it's well-rooted in Broncos orange,
There are 5 games that you can get for less than $30.
Wow. Let me name them. Hold on. All right. I'm going to say I don't know about the Commanders. No, I'm not going there with my first pick. Let's go. Gosh, this is tough. Without Mahomes, can we go Chiefs-Titans?
Yes.
Okay.
$28.
How about Bengals-Dolphins?
That one was not included. That's $39, which is above my threshold.
Jets-Saints for sure.
Yes, $13.
$13 to get to the Jets Saints.
Yes.
Falcons Cardinals.
Absolutely. $14.
That's 3 of them. It's got to be Vikings Giants.
Yes.
Really? The Vikings Giants game's under $30?
$23.
Wow, man. You can't get a hot dog on the street corner in New York for that price.
East Rutherford, man. What are we doing? One more. Also surprising to me, but I guess there is a reason for it.
Reese, I did not just say that the fans are transplants. I just said it's a transient market to add to it. They already had a very good base. Don't twist my words. So that's 4 of them, right?
That's 4.
I guess I'll go Eagles Commanders, but I don't believe it.
$90.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't believe that one. And there's a game in. It's the Bills fans are going to travel. Bills Browns is going to be that.
Oh, that one's $50.
I can't get this last one.
Dallas.
No.
$24.
Really?
I guess because they just got knocked out. People are probably shelving out those tickets, but
wow, that surprises me.
That's the 4th lowest ticket. This
again, the
this
Chargers
weekend.
don't travel at all, but still, Dallas under $30 in Dallas.
Yep.
And again, it's a little different. Dallas is fun to watch too. That's the thing. Like they're a fun team to watch most of the time. Like the Giants are 2 and whatever. Like that makes sense to me at least a little bit more. Oh, that's great. I would never have predicted Chargers Cowboys for one of the 5 there.
Yeah. Vegas Houston is 4th at $100.
Hey, speaking of here, the I think right now there's this thought, and I want to see this stadium filled up in Jacksonville. And there's one more chance to see this team play at home potentially. We'll know more after this weekend,
right?
And we'll know more after the next week. But there's a decent chance here that this is it. This is it for full capacity. And I know the Titans are not going to bring anybody, and I know the Titans are not a sexy team, and this team is not. That's not like, oh my gosh, Titans, Jags from 2022. Totally get it. But I think if you want to start making your plans or get your tickets early, I have no idea what the ticket sales are, but that has potential to be a really big game in Jacksonville. And I think people are sleeping on that right now because I'll give you this. Jags lose to Denver, beat Indy. Houston beats the Raiders, lose to the Chargers. Well, now you have to win that game against Tennessee, right? Last game of the season, win and you're the division champs.
Yep.
Now, it's not Tennessee you're battling, I get it. But Tennessee also showing a little bit more life lately. They beat Cleveland, and then last week they scored 24 or something against San Francisco.
Yeah,
so
scored some points.
They're showing a little bit more life, and that game could be really important in Jacksonville. One, you figure it will be important in some way, shape, or form for the division because they'll have a chance. I would think they'd have a chance if, like, the Colts go and beat Houston. Worst case scenario. Like, you could be timing that up, which actually could get that game somewhat moved. If it comes down to the last game of the season, you wonder if the Jags-Titans game and the Houston-Indy game get moved to, they usually want those playing at the same time, so it wouldn't be moved to Saturday. It would probably be like a 1 o'clock kick for both games. But it could mean a lot. And then at the very least, it might mean a lot if let's just say Houston now is in control of the division. It could mean a lot for seeding, anywhere from 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
So, and I just think I've been dying for this place with this football team, the way they've been, to really give us a look of full one more time. And it was a good crowd against the Jets. It's been loud every time, by the way, like the fans that are there, but it hasn't been sold out. It's not even close to sold out. So, I mean, you can wait for the playoffs, but what if there are no playoffs? Your last chance to see this team at 65,000 could be that Titans game. And I know it's not a sexy matchup, but it could really matter in a big-time way. And so start keeping your eyes on that. You want a Christmas present or two? Tickets are pretty cheap. All right, go get some people some Jags-Titans tickets. I think that game is going to mean something. And it has the potential, and I don't know if this means anything to anybody, but it could be the last game at full capacity at Everbank Stadium the way it is. So there's a little bit of an historic nostalgia to it. Next year, limited capacity at 43,000. The next year in Orlando, and then new stadium after that. So I think that Tennessee game has a lot of things going on where I think it would be really cool to see that place jumping with the way we have seen it in 22 and 23 or the Monday night game this year or other games. Again, we have seen it loud this season. These fans, I was just talking to some players about it this week. I mean, they're not noticing empty seats or anything like that, and I kind of do, but they're not. But they can feel it. I mean, and we can feel it from the press box right off the rip. These games, the last 2 times, even if it's not 65,000, it is loud like 60,000. So hats off to the people that are going, making a bunch of noise, having some fun. But I think that Tennessee game could be something to see for sure. All right, I've got a thought coming back here when we come back on the Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. We get our Republic Services recycled headlines in. Liam Cohen has spoken today. And then I'm going to give you a comp for Trevor Lawrence. Remember a few weeks ago we were trying to find like a comp? He's kind of hard to comp in his career path and other things, maybe even stylistically. What is the comp? I'm going to give you one, and I'll see if you like it or not. That right there is Nick Mullins. Was with him a bit yesterday. He was at Maple Street Biscuit Company in San Marco and hanging out with some fans and doing a little meet and greet, part of their 12 Days of Christmas at Maple Street. And that was fun. That's a remodeled Maple Street Biscuit Company over there in San Marco. That's the original one. I didn't realize that was the original one in San Marco. But anyway, we talked to Nick Mullins about Trevor Lawrence and his conversation coming up as well in the noon hour. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now, the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar. Grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, Honda has what you need.
The Honda Talon. Ultimate performance meets family-friendly fun. Prices starting at $363 a month. Or the sporty Honda CBR 650 starting at an affordable $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from a full line of Honda products. Only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville, off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, welcome back here. Noon hour we go here on the Brent and Austin Show. Austin back at it tomorrow. He was with us in the first hour out in Las Vegas. He'll be back in Jacksonville for the next couple of days. And then he'll be out in Denver for the game. So we will be out there as well, flying out with the team on Saturday. And a post-game show coming up on Sunday evening from, I would suggest, about 7:15 until 8 o'clock. Obviously, we don't know when the game's going to end, but we'll have live coverage from Denver and the reaction on TV. We don't do that very often. We've added that one to the arsenal this week, and we'll see if we continue to add that going over the next few weeks and into the postseason, which normally, if there's postseason, we will add postgame on TV if they let us. And by the way, I don't want any complaining about, I don't know if it's this week's schedule or next week's, but we asked for a couple of games to be changed, and we got denied by CBS and Fox or whatever. And so we get what we get. Just telling you right now, I'm getting in front of this. I'm going to get a lot of hate email and Twitter people. I don't control the BW3 button this week.
You're telling me we're probably going to have to watch Jets Saints.
Nah, it's not that. It's like, but I do think we're getting Houston and the Raiders. I don't know what the other option. Oh, like, see, the other option was Steelers Detroit.
Oh, okay.
And I think we tried to get that game because, let's be honest, like, I get the whole Houston thing. I understand why they give it to us. But
Brent, let's just play the hypothetical here. If Brock Bowers has 3 touchdowns and the Texans are on the freaking ropes and you would have switched it, oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
So,
but that ain't going to happen.
It's not.
That's a good hypothetical.
Kenny Pickett, is this his first start or did he start last week?
He started last week.
Oh.
We got
Kenny Pickett could come forward all.
I thought we were going to get more emails last week off because we had the Indianapolis Seattle game.
It was a great game.
People were complaining though that we didn't have the Packers Broncos game.
No.
So there were a couple of them, but not as much. And then of course the Rivers story.
Unbelievable.
Well, we determined that on the show even before the Rivers story because we have to ask 12 days in advance.
Right.
So, but that's why we had picked that one. We even did it here.
Yeah.
Like, which one would you want to see? And both ended up being pretty good games. And actually, I think we got the end of the Denver game anyway.
I watched it, yeah.
Yeah. So that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, there was 4 games on
We're trying,
last week.
people.
I meant to ask you. We had a doubleheader at 1 and 4, which
we did.
Never happens.
Yeah, it doesn't usually. About 3 or 4 times a year you can get it. Usually get it on opening weekend. You'll get it a little bit later in the season. You might even, I think there's another time. I can't remember exactly when. But
so we had Jags, obviously, and we had, what was the other option? I think it was, it might have been Kansas City.
Was it?
Might have been.
That makes some sense.
Can't remember.
All right, welcome back, Brent and Austin Show, and time for our Republic Services recycled headlines of the day. RecyclingSimplified.com/holidays to check out what you should do in recycling at your workplace or even at your home, what you do with your Christmas tree. In the recycling department, check them out, RecyclingSimplified.com/holiday, and check out RecyclingSimplified.com all year round to see what you should do to help out in the recycling world. Some of the headlines, we just got one in. Trevor Lawrence named Offensive Player of the Week.
Oh, he was.
In the AFC.
Let's go.
I wonder if that's the first time he's won that. Nope. This marks his 4th Player of the Week honor of his career. He won the award twice in 2022 and once in 2023. How about that?
There you go.
I wouldn't have guessed he had won it 4 times. How about that? Good stuff. Meanwhile, the Jaguars, some of the reports I'm seeing, Josh Hines-Allen wasn't out of practice today. So Danny Strigo as well, at least during the media session. I think Mike DiRocco had that. Now, I don't think there's anything injury-related to Josh Hines-Allen. I'm not sure about that. We'll see the practice report.
Okay.
Could always be a personal thing, too. And that's where my mind went right away, but didn't see that one coming. But we also didn't see, if you remember, 2 weeks ago, we didn't know, like, Andrew Wingard was going to show up in concussion protocol. So there are some things that happen, and we'll see what the injury report looks like a little bit later today. Around the NFL, Tua gets benched. That's another big headline today, which means, are they going to eat a lot of money? Or is he done for the Miami Dolphins? And I guess we talked about this Monday, not necessarily the benching, but it just doesn't look great with Tua. Just the speed of the game looks too much for him at times based on arm strength and his ability to move. Now, obviously, can process, and he's more of a touch guy and timing guy, but that's a lot to hang your hat on in a league like this, I think. Peyton Manning did it for a long time, but he also really knew football better than anybody that's maybe ever played the game and could get himself in certain situations.
Right.
Here's my thought on this, and I don't know if this is fair or unfair, but there was so much time that we wondered about Tua in his health for good reason. I mean, at one time I didn't want to see him ever suit up again. Is part of his poor play potentially related to that? And whatever that is, whatever that means, whatever, he's not as risky as he used to be. He's not as willing to move as much as he used to be. He's got that in the back of his head from a processing standpoint. That's what I'm getting at. We have no idea what his brain is doing. I'm not asking that. I'm just saying, is there some real scar tissue from an ability to perform at a confident level if you're Tua over these last couple of years? Now, he turned in a terrific year, the one season, put up unbelievable numbers. But outside of that, and that really did happen, but outside of that, it's been really just okay.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine he gets a second shot. I mean, which is insane given how many other quarterbacks have been statistically much worse and gotten second shots around the NFL. But I don't know who's going to want Tua. I mean, what role would he have? I would say there's zero shot anybody brings him in to be a starter. Is he the type of guy that you would want to bring in as a backup?
Let me ask you this right now. If he was, how would you feel if you were the Indianapolis Colts and you could play Tua?
They should probably, they should probably entertain that idea.
Well, I'm just saying if they were right now, like if he were to get cut tomorrow.
And it was possible?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
By the way, did you see Judon got released as well
Matthew
for
Judon,
the Dolphins? I don't know if he's doing anything this year. He's really had a nice later part of his career, but he might be about done.
Yeah.
So they let him go. I don't know where Tua goes. There's always a place to go, though, and get another shot because the quarterbacking is just not good enough around the National Football League, and injuries do happen.
Yeah. Judon does not have a sack this year.
Okay.
Looks like he has 19 tackles.
Good name. Probably not great game anymore.
He's 33. Anyway, but it's interesting that, and I know Ewers is not expected to be like the long-term solution. Like when I think of Ewers, I think of the exact same thing, like wrongs, mistakes, as Tua. Arm strength is a minus, and the decision-making is a minus. Mobility is not great. Tua, and it's Ewers. And obviously Ewers is a lot younger. Maybe the mobility is, a tick better, but not a ton. And so he's like the right-handed version. And, I mean, we saw it in the preseason. It looked pretty bad. I mean, that's the last time we have to really look at it. So, I mean, not that they really even care how they finish the season at this point, but, obviously he's doing something right, or else it would be Zach Wilson, right? I mean, if both guys are on the roster, I guess maybe it's just they're trying to figure it, if they have something here. But I feel like
if I was Miami, I'd be trying to figure out if I got something like resurrected in Zach Wilson because his talent.
Absolutely.
So why not? Like he's been around the block a little bit. There were good reports out of where was he? Denver, I think it was last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, heck, they're seeing what they're seeing in practice. Yeah, they're seeing what they see. So anyway, I mean, that's the big story. One of the big stories too, benched by the Miami Dolphins, and that says a lot. But again, they are tied financially in a big time way, and this has people question whether the Jags should have paid Trevor Lawrence. I don't question it. I think that Trevor's going to be around here even before these last 3 weeks. To me, he's going to be around for the next few years, and I don't know what else you want. Like, what's on the other side of door number 2, right? Well, not much. This isn't a great class. I mean, you want Mendoza over Trevor Lawrence? Like, if you could pick that right now, I wouldn't say that. He might be the number 1 pick.
Right.
Who's the guy coming out next year? No. So, my point is, I don't think you want that. Now, the next level is how good can you get it? And so I have no problem paying him. The Daniel Jones mistake in New York was, well, they paid him instead of Saquon Barkley. Did that make sense? Well, in hindsight, it didn't. But the cost of doing business throws you for a loop a bit at the QB spot. Same thing with Tua. I think a lot of us wondered about that Tua one. Like, okay, same with Kyler Murray. We wondered about those in real time. Does this make sense? And it turns out that the Kyler Murray one hasn't really paid out and paid off. And Tua isn't going to pay off. But it is a little bit of the cost of doing business in the NFL at that position if you even think you have it. How about Purdy? Mac Jones came in and did a hell of a job for about $50 million less. And Purdy's playing well now, too, and they're winning. But do you really think he's a $55 million a year quarterback? Probably not.
He knows he's not.
It's the cost of doing business. So I'm okay with the cost of doing business. The bottom line is you do run the risk of being wrong. I don't think the Jags were at risk of being as wrong as those other teams that I mentioned. I think Kyler Murray was always iffy. Daniel Jones was always iffy. Now, Daniel Jones was more $40 million. Kyler Murray, $46 million at the time. I think Tua was always an iffy play. I think right now Purdy still is an iffy play. Now, if you're with Shanahan, it feels like I can play quarterback too and get some success out of it. But Trevor to me was never that big of a risk as those guys. Was he going to perform to the level of Burrow or Herbert or Josh Allen or Mahomes, who are also in that category? Well, that's a fair question. That still is a fair question. And that's also okay, in my opinion, if you don't. And you still paid the guy because it's the cost of having a quarterback. And the Jags have their guy. And the Jags have their guy for the next couple of years. Jags have their guy hopefully for the next decade. And you have to find that out. To me, it's still why Liam Cohen took this job in part. Because he thought he could get Trevor Lawrence playing to the way he's played the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Where's this going to go? No idea. But I'm confident sitting here saying that. And I was even when things weren't as great. On the discourse, I was still confident. I was fine. Because I've seen it here. The bottom line is we can now say Trevor Lawrence, the way he's played the last couple of weeks, he is starting to play, at least these last couple of weeks, like no other quarterback we've ever seen in Jacksonville. I mean, we could say he's more talented than anybody else anyway. But he is absolutely delivering plays that we've never seen in Jacksonville. I think we've been seeing that for 5 years in some respects on simple plays, throws that are 3rd and 12. But now we've got the eye-popping plays that, hey, listen, Mark Brunell's was unbelievable here. But Brunell couldn't make the kind of plays that we're seeing Trevor make. Garrard won games. Better than anybody thought. Couldn't make these plays, right? We know that. That's
You're talking about the backyard plays?
Yeah, some of these backyard plays, some of the just the skills that are really showing up, where we say there's only a few guys on the planet that can make that play, or maybe only a few guys in the history of the game that could make some of the throws. Seriously, that's the kind of talent he has. So now can you tap into it and make it all worth it and all that? We've got a long way to figure that out, right? We don't know where it's going to lead. To that point, I've got two topics here real quick on Trevor. One, Nick Mullins caught up with him yesterday. He was at Maple Street Biscuit Company and spent a little time around him. Obviously, he's got a front row seat to Trevor Lawrence. And I think most people in the building continue to be pretty impressed with Trevor anyway, even before these last few weeks. But we did ask him about the way he's playing right now. And I think my question going into Nick here was, how high level is he playing at the moment? Nick's 30 years old. He's been around the block. He's seen it. How high level is what he's doing right now?
It's impressive, man. I think you can kind of tell the smile on my face. It's don't take it for granted because it is special. The highlight plays and even the simple plays that lead to the highlight plays. We say running the show, and he's doing that right now. He really is running the show, making guys around him better. And it takes all 11, the running backs, the O-line, the receivers, to collective effort along with the coaches, and everybody's doing their job.
All right, one last one. The spin-out play, that really last couple of weeks, but I felt like this one was even more a wow. Like, what's it like when you guys watch that in your room? Do you have some fun with Trevor in that, or are you just watching it a million times?
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun watching really cool football plays, and I think Carter Bradley actually kind of bumped me. It was really fun. He bumped me after the play, and he was like, I think Trevor likes rolling to his left. And so that was a funny moment after that play happened, and that was an awesome moment, man, a really highlight play, and not a lot of people can make that play, so let's not get that twisted. Some serious talent and an awesome highlight play.
So there you go. That's Nick Mullins talking about Trevor Lawrence in those plays. I like when he was smiling there and saying, hey, that's insane. I always think that, been doing this for a long time, and I always believe if you ask players, now a lot of players will stick up for their guys, right? A lot of players will have a lot of respect for people that are in the league. A lot of players will be like, hey, this dude's really good. Even if you as a fan or we in the media are like, yeah, whatever. Like, really? How good are they? But then there's times where you can really say, wow, like this dude, like their reaction to a player says a lot. And I think Mullins there said a lot. I think some of the even reaction from Cohen, who's now seen it at a high level with Stafford and Baker and others, like those are the plays you shake your head at and you're like, damn, like that is good stuff. Like that, not too many people can do that. And that's the kind of talent you have. Now you tap into that as much as possible. That's real. The other guy that's like this, and I will get back to Trevor in a moment, but the other guy that's like this is Brian Thomas Jr. It's part of our countdown to kickoff this week is what I heard last week coming out of the locker room. I've heard Jacoby Myers say it, and I think I've heard Tim Patrick, who's the one that said it. And Myers, I believe when we had him on Jaguars All Access, said just like how gifted Brian Thomas Jr. is. And like wow kind of stuff that they see on the practice field and the tools and everything else. And it struck me, and it was pretty interesting because we have this, I do even in my own mind, I'm wondering where Brian Thomas Jr. is right now and where he's going. Because we had expectation, and this year's been very clunky for him. But when I hear a player like Jacoby Myers, I don't think he's just sticking up for a guy in his room and giving him confidence. He like
he's going out of his way to say it.
It was unsolicited. And it's like, damn, man, it's good. Well, Tim Patrick last week in the locker room as well, in a different setting, I don't know if he specifically asked about Brian Thomas Jr., but he's like, he's one of none, is what his quote was.
That's what he said?
Yeah. Like, that was his quote, one of none.
Did we put that out?
I don't think we put that one out yet because we put the one out where he said it was like the best throw ever. Now, maybe he was just in
superlative land.
He might have been, right? Like, okay, hyperbole all over the place because things are going well.
Yeah.
Maybe. But when I heard those two things in like a 5-day span, I'm like, wait a minute, we have so much kind of discourse on Brian Thomas Jr. right now. We wonder where he's going to be. When you hear things like that from players that have played the game and been around the block in the NFL, it gives you pause, I think. And this goes back to the organization in general, like where we say, well, are they going to trade him? Are they down on him? Or could they try to trade him, move him? Is it going to work here in Jacksonville? The reason why you stop, even in those instances, is say, wait a minute, he's got that kind of talent. If he's got that kind of talent we're talking about, you don't give up on that. Like, you don't give up on that. I'll give you another example of a team I think did a nice job of this. And maybe they were never going to give up on him. I don't know. But Jamison Williams in Detroit was like this. Jamison Williams was a very talented guy coming out of Alabama, obviously. He gets drafted, I think, pretty high. I think it was top 10, 15, something like that.
15, I think.
And I can tell you, I don't think they believed in him much in the first year or couple years.
What was that? It was the off-the-field stuff, too.
Well, yeah, the betting thing was whatever. This was different. Like, we were up in Detroit when the Jags practiced with the Lions, And the thought that we got up there
12th overall
was this is probably not going to work out. Not to the degree that we had hoped. Now, what is it going to work out like? Who knows? Well, you look at him now, last year and even this year, I think have been really good.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's a maturation, whether he's figured stuff out, I don't know what it is. But I think BTJ is 23 years old.
He is.
So, and what do we say about Trevor? He just turned 26 years old. Like, these are guys, when you have talent like that in your building, you don't just say, we're pissed off at you, we're done with you, and go away. Those are the challenges of the Gladstone, Cohen, Baselli right now, where they have to get through some of that. They have to filter through that. Okay, this hasn't been as good as we thought for a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. It's almost kind of annoying, maybe, frustrating, all those things. But what if we continue to massage it? What if are there ingredients there that we can work through it? Well, it looks right now in season we're seeing that anyway, and Jacoby Myers has been a big part of that. I think you also do this, for the record, on the opposing side. You do this when guys are really playing well, and they're going to have to ask themselves, okay, is this the Devin Lloyd we're going to get for the next 5 years, and then we re-sign him, or are we really just getting an unbelievable season from Devin Lloyd where everything's working, and we don't need to spend 13, 14, 15, 16 million a year
the inevitable
to go
regression to the mean.
Right? So these are hard decisions, and it's hard not to be emotional about it.
That's the GM's job.
That's what the offseason's about, too. One is the GM's job is not to get emotional right in the season. The head coach usually get a little more emotional, but the GM usually won't. But then that's why you let things die down, and you see how we feel in February,
right?
Let's just say, or even closer to March when the league year starts. And I think it works in both ways is my point. And I think the Jags have a fascinating offseason in that department. ETN, Lloyd, Cole Van Lanen. What do you do with a Walker Little?
Jacoby
What
Myers.
do you do with Anton Harrison? Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas Jr. Are you better at safety than you think because of the emergence of Antonio Johnson? Where do you play Travis Hunter versus offense versus defense based on what you just saw without him for the last 8 weeks of the season, 9 weeks of the season? Like, these are real questions that you have to take the emotion out. And we can sit here on this show and with you guys and on YouTube and everywhere else and be like, hey, oh, yeah, easy answer. It's like, well, no, it's not, because things change year to year, and it's also a 3, 4, 5 year answer down the road. Like, this is not just a one season type of answer when you ask about these guys. And I will say it again. What's behind door number 2? What's your other answer? If you don't like that, what's your other answer? So I just think it's fascinating this year because we have had a lot of this in Jacksonville where you're disappointed and the emotions are like, what the hell? And get rid of them all. Hey, after the Houston game, I was like, this roster just ain't good enough. I can't say I feel that way right now.
Of course not.
So that's the emotion that we all ride as watching this thing. They're the ones that have to make the business decisions about it. And I think the Jags have some interesting decisions on the, hey, are they playing to our standard? But also, are they playing above a standard too?
Are they just on a heater, or is this who they are?
Yeah. So, and again, we got 3 more weeks to figure that out, potentially the playoffs to figure that out, and we'll see. But it's going to be a fun offseason, but a fascinating one in Jacksonville to see where they land and if they are right. Because I'll go back to last year and some of this conversation we just had today. When they got rid of Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram, I was like, what the? Both of them?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Pretty good move.
Yeah, great move.
Right? Pretty good move. So, yeah, it's wild, that part of it. All right,
real
you
quick.
got something? Go ahead.
Travis Hunter. First of all, before I ask this question, any word, has he been in the building at all recently? Do we know?
Did you put something in one of our emails that you saw him on the sideline last game? Oh, you didn't?
I didn't, no.
I thought somebody did.
I put something in the email of like, what's his last month look like? And
oh, yeah, okay.
I
haven't seen him, but I don't know if again, we're not watching the TV nonstop. I don't know if they showed him.
I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him around. I haven't seen him at all. I have not seen him since London. Now, again, I'm not in the building a lot. So, like this, our show's right in the middle of a lot of the access. So I don't even if he's out on the practice field for the 15 minutes it's open. I've been in the locker room since London quite a decent amount of times. I don't remember seeing him. So I don't know what he's doing to answer that question. I have no idea.
Okay.
He's just kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
until
which
I
is
saw
insane.
him cooking the other day.
Oh, yeah, I did see that, which is cool. But it's just insane because, like, you don't necessarily miss him right now. Not to say that they wouldn't be better without him. Definitely not saying that. But they're playing their best football, and he's not out there. So it's hard to imagine what it would be like if he was out there. And it's not like there's any point Sunday where I'm looking like, man, wish we had Travis Hunter out there. Which I think that would have been an inconceivable thought 2.5 months ago. Like if you would have told me in London, you're going to get to a stretch in this season where you're not going to miss Travis Hunter. He's not going to be out there, and you're not even going to really think about it. And again, a lot of that is out of sight, out of mind. But at the same time, cornerback play has been unreal last 3 weeks. And, of course, you're playing backup quarterbacks and all that stuff, so it is what it is. But it's not like Braswell's been getting burnt, Buster Brown's been getting burnt, those guys have been locked down as far as we know.
Yeah.
Again, last 2 weeks.
Do you think there's a time that we're probably going to say, especially on defense, like, man, it would be nice to have Hunter on
So
defense.
that's the question. Obviously, the offense is rolling. But the defense is kind of rolling secondary-wise right now. If he was available starting this Sunday, take away the opponent. I don't care about that. It's the Broncos. Last 3 games of the regular season, you'd rather have him on defense if you could only play him on one?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they miss him on offense. I honestly don't think right now they miss him on offense. I think, again, there's a domino effect. We discussed this last week. 2 things happened this year that have created what we're seeing right now, in my opinion. One, the loss to Houston, blowing that lead. I don't know if they're the same team right now that's going to Denver. I just don't. I think they needed something like that in a weird sportsy kind of way. And then I also think Travis Hunter, if Travis Hunter does not get hurt, now he might continue to be one of your best players.
Because that's what the conversation that we had after London. It was like, is he our best player on offense and defense?
He was both at the time. So where were they going to play him? But they don't go get Jacoby Myers without it. And Jacoby Myers has made everyone better. Travis Hunter wasn't going to make everyone better. Travis Hunter wasn't going to all of a sudden make he would make Trevor Lawrence a little bit better probably, but he wasn't going to make him this much better. He wasn't going to make Brian Thomas Jr. that much better. Like, Jacoby Myers has done that. And so, interestingly enough, I don't think this team misses him on offense. I do think there will be a time at some point, and there might have already been, that we would say they miss him on defense. And do they miss his juice, the personality, all those things? Well, it seems like they got that right now.
Yeah.
So this is not a negative and a knock on Travis Hunter. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. I think he's going to be a big part of what the Jags do. I just think for this rendition of the Jags right at the moment, I can't sit here and tell you they're like, oh my gosh, we miss him. Like, they're not. They're playing fine without him. They feel good about themselves. They're playing better and better. There's confidence all over the place, and it's just the way it works sometimes. But I think they will be able to add him to the puzzle next year and become that much more dynamic on one side of the ball or both sides of the ball. There's one other element here let me just say this about we're missing on the thing. This has made, in my opinion, this has also made Liam Cohen better with him sidelined. Because Austin brings us up a bunch. Last year in Tampa, when those guys went down, Evans and Godwin and those guys, he became better. Their offense got better. Was it because they don't need Evans and Godwin? No. You have to reinvent yourself. You dial stuff back. You have to almost go to work and dig a little bit more than you would have if you just have them at your disposal. So, again, this is kind of like this weird sports thing sometimes where it just happens that you get clicking and find something because you don't have another guy. You had to go search for that. And one other thing for the head coach, he now doesn't have to balance how many plays and the questions and everything else that he's playing Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball. That is a constant, a weekly thing from the practice field to the game field to the media room. And right now I'm not calling it a distraction. I'm just saying he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to worry about that. And that was probably a lot on his plate. And Nobody really has a blueprint on that. They were trying to create a blueprint on that. So I really think Travis Hunter is going to be huge for this franchise and for this football team going forward. But I think both can be true, that it'd be awesome to have him. But right now, at this juncture, they're doing just fine without him.
Yeah, they're doing better without him, I think, is what you would say. And I think you can, and that's okay to say. And my mind immediately goes to compare to the 2021 Braves. Acuna goes down. I'm in right field, 10 rows up. You're 41-41. He's the best player in baseball, or top 5. And he goes down, and he gets replaced with the likes of Eddie Rosario and Jock Peterson. Those guys are your Jacoby Myers, and the Braves become the hottest team, and everything clicks, and everything's right, and the other guys step up, and it's just the right thing at the right. And there was nobody on the planet better in the NLCS of 2021 than Eddie Rosario. Nobody better.
Works.
And you would have never said Acuna.
Yeah.
Or Eddie Rosario is better than Acuna. That time, yes, he was. You would have sat Acuna, given what you need. If you knew what you were getting from Eddie Rosario, that's kind of where you're at right now.
Well, I'll give you another example of this, and I have a baseball one too. It goes back to the Red Sox, where they traded Nomar Garcia-Parra and stuff, and things started to work for them, which is like, what? That's my guy. It's like, get out of here. But the other one is here in Jacksonville. I'll just give you one. The Jags lost Allen Robinson in 2017 on like the first play of the season to an ACL against Houston. They went to the AFC Championship game. He was their best wide receiver.
Yeah, the best offensive. Well,
right?
Other than
Fournette, right?
Lenny.
But you dig around. Other guys step up. Things happen. Like, it's sometimes
sports
hard, inexplicable, right? It doesn't make sense that the Jags right now would be better without Travis Hunter. But for whatever reason, they are at least good enough, if not better, without Travis Hunter. And better than they were at the time with him. What I'm interested to see in the unknown is how much would he have developed in this offense?
Would have loved to see
how
that.
much he would have evolved when this offense is evolving. But I don't think we get the Jacoby Myers thing. And in a weird way, for Trevor Lawrence, for this offense, for Liam Cohen, Jacoby Myers, we all feel, has been such a difference maker that it almost might have been a crazy break for the Jags to lose Travis Hunter. And that sounds insane.
Yes.
And I get it. But they don't have Jacoby Myers if it doesn't happen. And Jacoby Myers might be changing this thing altogether here in Jacksonville. And nobody knew it was even a possibility until they had to go get him. Weird, right? Sports are weird sometimes like that. And that's not, I want to close this out with saying this is not in any way, shape, or form, I think, a reflection on Travis Hunter.
Zero.
I just think it's one of those things sometimes in sports. And I think we're getting it. And the Jags might be really good for it in the long run because now they'll have, hopefully, Myers on a new deal. Mm-hmm. You see what you are, and now you plug and play Hunter into the best case scenario, which makes your football team even better. Well, that could be really good in 2026 and 27 if they choose to play him on both sides of the ball or if they choose to play him on one side of the ball. So fascinating. Yeah, I think it's an we haven't talked a lot about it. We've talked a little bit about it, but it's pretty wild to see. All right, I've got one comp for Trevor Lawrence. Haven't got to it yet. Got to hit a break. We'll come back. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow we are at Best Bet Jacksonville, Best Bet Monument Road with the show, and we'll be there from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m., so stop on by if you can, if you're hanging out around the holiday season, and hang out at bestbetjax.com to see what else you can do around the holiday season, like watch some football, have some drinks, play some games, play some poker. You can do that in Orange Park. You can do that in St. Augustine. You can do that on Monument Road as well. bestbetjax.com.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep,
Not
can't
eating.
eat. See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $4 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Hey guys, we got a new player today. I hear he's pretty good.
Heard this guy played in the NFL.
I think he's an MMA fighter. I've actually been on his show, the Brent and Austen show.
Football and fighting, that's the easy part. Let's see if I still have it on the ice. What the heck, man? Who is this guy? He's saving everything.
Leave the hockey to the pros, man. It's hockey season. Come on out and see the Icemen play. Get your tickets at jacksonvilleicemen.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Hi, welcome back here to the Brent and Austen Show. Hey, reminder, today we have, let's see, what do we have today? What's today, Wednesday? Wednesday, I think we got a lot of replay stuff today. I don't think they're doing Scrap House tonight, or no Scrap House because Austin's out of town. I think even Casey's out of town. And then tomorrow, obviously we kick off with Miller and Moulton in the morning. We've got the Brent and Austen Show. We'll be live at Best Bet. We'll have Club 904. We'll have Fleet and Footy at 2. And then at 6 to 7 o'clock, we're doing our all-prep top 25 team gets revealed. Noah Schlicksup, Brody McGuff, Chandler Dantzler. They'll be down at the stadium, and we'll be live there as well and celebrating the all-prep top 25 team with Jaguars Prep and Whataburger. So that's a really cool thing that the Jags and we have joined hands on. And the Jags really help us blow that up. They do jerseys and cleats for the Player of the Year and Coach of the Year and Super Bowl tickets for the Coach of the Year and all that. So pretty neat stuff. Tomorrow it gets revealed. Think about how good we have in high school football, and we try to find the top 25 players. Not easy. Not easy. We have 70 schools, I think, plus. And the way we go about it is we ask coaches to give us their top 3 nominees. But, like, you take a Bowles and a Reigns and St. Aug, Mandarin, like the premier teams, really hard to dial that down to 3. But we do. And so.
Do y'all do it per position?
And we don't do that. Like, a lot of these teams get pushed out by position, and understandably. In fact, this year we might not even have a lineman on it, and I don't like that. We try to fill the positions, but we're not committed to, hey, it's got to be a quarterback, 2 running backs, receivers, offensive line. We just say, who are the top 25 players in the area? And position be damned.
Okay.
And again, I mean, we had a big time argument this year, first ever, like really, I don't know about argument, but big time debate over the Player of the Year. And there are 6 finalists. You can go on Instagram and see those, and on social media. We had good debate over the Coach of the Year. And also, one other thing about this, if people are really interested, if you're sitting here and say, like, oh, well, it's got to be Reigns, right? Automatically, because they won the state championship. We actually do this going into the Final Four because we have to get it done earlier. So we don't know who's going to win the state championship and those kind of things. So it kind of gets shut down right going into the Final Four week. So really about 2 weeks ago. So we can get everything coordinated with the Jags and other things. But pretty cool. We'll have a celebration of that. And for the first time, we're going to do a show from that. The guys have done a great job with Blitz Breakdown on Monday night. They had a full Reigns celebration. If you missed that, that's really performing well on social media. You can go back and watch it. I had 5 different players and Coach Maslin in, I think, that night on the Blitz Breakdown. And then tomorrow we'll celebrate our all-prep top 25 team. So really love what we did this year in high school football. Continue to expand. And Hamby and I were just talking about doing even another element that I didn't get done that I would like to see done next year. And we'll see if we're able to do it. Now we're already on to a little bit of high school baseball and softball, which will have our no gate fees and hopefully a little more expanded coverage of that. We just did 2 high school basketball games Saturday on the Action Sports Shacks 24/7 network from the Fortegra Invitational. So pretty cool stuff we're doing with the high school scene and hopefully be able to keep ramping that up. Brent Martineau, Jason Hamby, Austen Lane here on the network, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. every day. Again, check out the podcast. We're excited about the podcast numbers, audio only, wherever you find the podcast. I mean, in essence, this is a podcast you're watching, I guess. But the audio-only podcast is up at 1:30 right after the show. So if you missed any of it, break it out individually by each hour, and you can catch the show daily while you're doing a workout or driving somewhere or trying to get away from the family. That's a possibility, too. All right, Trevor Lawrence, we wonder about comps. He was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week for the 4th time in his career just a short time ago. And ironically, they're playing the Denver Broncos. And I think we threw this guy's name up around at times. One, because Trevor was like this can't-miss prospect. And it reminded you of really 2 players that are drafted in the history of the game. And those 2 players were Andrew Luck, really 3 players, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, and John Elway. So in the 80s, John Elway, in the 90s, Peyton Manning, and obviously Andrew Luck in the early 2010s as these like can't-miss guys. Super talented, generational, if you will. I like to get away from that word. But I think if you really start to look at style of play, and especially over the last few weeks, you see, I believe, a little bit of Elway in Trevor. Now, when we said this in the past, Elway had a lot more like backyard in him. Well, we're starting to see some of that backyard in Trevor, and that's why I'm kind of rekindling some of the Elway conversation.
Uh-oh.
Because if we see some of these kind of plays, you're going to start to think about players like Elway and the way he played the game. The other thing about Elway is it wasn't always perfect. That's why we were trying to find the comp. It wasn't always perfect. In fact, let's see, my eyes will check out here. He threw 300 touchdowns in his career and 226 interceptions. That's a lot of interceptions. This wasn't like an Aaron Rodgers touchdown to INT rate, Tom Brady, No, wasn't that. In fact, every year of his career, he threw double-digit interceptions.
Every single year.
Every single year of John Elway's career. Now, he's playing in a little bit of a different time, too, but every year. And I'll also say this. Longevity won the day, but his highest touchdown passing total of his career was 27. Highest. 27 passing touchdowns. Now, he would also run some in. See if I can find that real quick. He ran for 6 was his career high. Well, Trevor's got that right now. So I think we have this view of Elway, kind of that helicopter, right? Tackle down near the goal line in the Super Bowl runs of 97 and 98, I think it was. And that's the guy. Well, there was more to that guy. For one, he didn't run all the time. 2, he made mistakes. 3, he could wow you with his talent. And 4, he won. And this is probably the biggest thing, is his career record as a quarterback was 148 and 82. Very good. That's a very good number. And win percentage. So he won. And he didn't have to overcome some of maybe the stuff like Trevor had to overcome early in his career. In year 1, he went 4-6, way back in the 80s. 12-2, 11-5, 11-5. So he got off to a heck of a start. And then he was 8-3, 8-7, 10-5, 5-11, 12-4, 8-4, 9-7, 7-7, 8-8, 13-2, 12-4, 10-2. Which means if I just did that correctly, I think I saw 2 losing seasons in his career. Dude knew how to win. And by the way, in some of that, he had Terrell Davis, right? And he had Sharp, and he had these guys around him that are also Hall of Famers to make that kind of run. But I don't think he ever won an MVP. He was second in MVP voting in 96, it looks like. He was 4th in 1993. And, oh, no, he did win an MVP. I'm sorry. In 1987, he won an MVP. No way. Did he? He won the MVP? He only played like 11 games. Oh, was that a shortened season? That might have been a strike season. 87. Went 8-3-1.
Slightly before my time.
I'll have to check that out. That's interesting. But I think that's maybe was the case. Won a MVP, but he wasn't first team All-Pro. And he was 5th in MVP back in 1986. So I like you like my comp? A guy that's not putting up gaudy numbers.
Sure.
A guy that makes mistakes. Mm-hmm. A guy that can use his legs, but he's not a running guy. Like he's not Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. And a guy that knows how to win and can make all the throws. Like the talent is supreme. Jags are going to Denver. And if the Jags get this Trevor Lawrence, the Broncos fans watching are going to be like, we used to have one of those guys. They're not going to say that. I'm saying it for them.
If you think Broncos fans are upset with us for saying there was gamesmanship with the Cody Schrader pickup, just imagine when you just compared their GOAT to Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but I think
they're not going to take that all too.
Well, nobody, by the way, nobody said that maybe their GOAT, but nobody says that in the history of the game that John Elway's like the greatest quarterback of all time. No, he's never even in that conversation.
That's
part of my point. It's like he's really, really good. Is he elite? Is spectacular? Where is he on that? I don't know. But his best year was 4,000 yards. Now, this is a different NFL. but his best year was 4,000 yards. I'll give you something else, and this is, again, a day and age where you're not getting it. His completion percentage was under 60% his entire career except for 3 years. And I don't know if I think Trevor's going to eventually, because of today's league.
I would sure
I think
hope
he's
so.
going to end up at 65, 66% quite often.
Please.
Now, he likes to throw the ball down the field. And what happens when you throw the ball down the field? Get incompletions, and you might turn the ball over. I kind of like it because I can say it right now with Trevor playing well. I said it like a month ago or whatever when we were with all the discourse, and I think there was plenty of discourse probably in John Elway's career.
And remind me how you came to this comp. Like, how did you stumble on this one?
You know, it's funny. I think somebody suggested it. It might have been Coach Rip. I don't know if he's listening. We're going to do a show tonight, actually.
You're going to do one with Rip?
Yeah, tonight at Strings in Springfield.
Oh.
And he might have said it. He might have been the guy like that floated Elway's name, and then I looked it up. And again, Elway comps were when Trevor was drafted.
Right.
Was a real thing because of the can't miss. And, I mean, Elway was a huge star, right? Like coming out. Go watch the 83 quarterback class thing if you want to refresh your memory. But, I mean, if John Elway was playing in today's NFL with today's social media, with the eyes on the NFL, I think he would be, like, lambasted at times in his career. Now, the only thing is he was winning, like, all the time. Like, he always won. Like, Trevor's never going to have that kind of winning percentage. He's probably already too far behind. But he won some. It's 12-2, 11-5, 11-5. Then he's 10-5, 12-4, 13-2, 12-4, 10-2. Those are big winning seasons. Right? Like, that's hard to do. And even when it wasn't good, it was 7-7, 8-8, 9-7 type of seasons. So John Elway won, but that also said a lot about their football team. I mean, they had guys now. They had guys. Mecklenburg on defense, you know. I mean, he would have been, Champ Bailey would have been too soon, I think. But they had, when I was a kid, the Denver Broncos were really good. And that would be in my high school years in the early 90s. And again, he retired in 98, and they were really good then. But I do think there would have been plenty of discourse in this day and age on the style of play. It's got a little of Favre through, right? Favre threw a lot of picks, a lot of that stuff, but it was good. It was unbelievable sometimes, too. It was wow. It was
Again,
fun
that's
to watch.
the Stafford at the beginning of his career.
A little bit of Stafford,
bad picks.
And I like Stafford's
You don't get those. You don't get the awesome touchdowns and the deep throws in the insane window if he doesn't throw some picks.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I like whoever brought up, and I can't remember who, but someone brought up the Stafford one. And I like that. The first 5 years of Stafford and the first 5 years of Trevor have some inconsistencies to them. Now, what, again, you don't get is he was a stat guy and has been in his career. The stats are incredible for Stafford. And that makes it a little bit harder. But the actual surroundings for Stafford, mixed with the play and maybe statistics of Elway, are somewhere where Trevor could end up by the end of this season through his first 5 years. And those aren't bad guys to be comped to.
Right.
You know?
Not at all.
Again, he's got to keep playing like this. And I'm not sitting here and telling you he is John Elway. I'm just telling you, that go look at the way he played and go look at the numbers if you're a numbers person. And I think you'll see some similarities. And that ain't a bad thing. Like, you can do all right with that. The Denver Broncos did all right for 15 years with that. Fascinating thought comparing to John Elway. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Action Sports Jack's jumping in and answering Mr. Hugo. There you go. Middleburg was impressive. I was impressed with Middleburg on the basketball court Friday and Saturday.
That one lefty was...
Yeah, man. He was good.
He could shoot.
That's right. All right, that's going to do it for a Wednesday edition. We move on to Thursday. Tomorrow from Best Bet Monument Road. Hope you can join us. And we'll be there 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. We'll get you covered today. I'm going to run over to the locker room right now for the Jags, and we'll have some Jags coverage tonight, CBS 47 and Fox 30 as well. For Jason Hamby, I'm Brent Martineau. Austen back at it tomorrow as well. I think Casey might jump back in tomorrow too. And have a good rest of your Wednesday, everyone. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Shacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports.